The Inner Sphere, year 3025. The Secession Wars still rage across the breadth of humanity, technology spirals into decline, and the Battlemech is still sovereign over the battlefield. Welcome, Mechwarriors, Great House Nobles, and Comstar Acolytes to the Mercenaries Do, a Mechwarrior Destiny miniseries brought to you by Neon Lights Roleplay. I have the honor of being Foxy, your Stratcom XO, Maestro, and Liaison for tonight's contract. I hope your local instrumentation is transmitting functionally and that you got people to sleep for the evening. Be sure to slam those links popping up your chat module in your cockpits right now, showing the rights of the Neon Lights Roleplay community and mercenary organization. And before we get any further, let's introduce our mercs. Bringing you the illustrious Drake's Fangs. First up, more flexible, versatile, and well-armored than an Orion ON1K. It's Egg-Chan.
Oh shit! It's me, Egg or Egg-Chan. Happy to be back playing Riverside. Call sign Chops.
Glad to have you back with us, Emily. Sliding right along then, faster and with a higher max jump distance than a Phoenix Hawk PXX-1B, it's RJ.
Hello everybody, it's me, RJ. You guys remember just to a 2 on most social sites. Today I'm playing Gary House, call sign Goose.
Great to have you back, Goose. Sliding right on along, packing more overall ammunition per tonnage than a Jaegermech JM6S. It's Rainy.
Hi, hello, my name's Rainy, and tonight I'm bringing back Herda to your screen. Call sign Sugar Rocks.
Glad to have you back, Sugar Rocks. And sliding one along, last but certainly so far from least, capable of delivering damage from a farther max distance than the Longbow LGB-7Q. It's Bailey.
Hi, I'm Bailey, your Skips' Fate, and I'm playing Sierra Side, River's wife, and her pronouns are she, her, call sign Desert Heat.
Glad to have you on for Contract Desert Heat. I've already mentioned that I'm Foxy Friends, so before we get started tonight, the higher-ups have asked me to advise you all at home that the Battletech universe is not a lighthearted one. Our mercs here have been briefed on what to expect and have contingencies that are planned in the event of anything serious, but unfortunately, no such plan can be made for you all in contract. So, tonight's show may include content such as general violence, death, mentions of unjust warfare, political conflict, personal loss, and for tonight specifically, a little bit of drinking. If any of those seem too much for you, or if the battlefield or battle grid is looking a bit too hot, please feel free to change the tab, close the stream, or otherwise step away from the broadcast, and the last trip home will be on station to provide exfil, even though she's a bit marked as of current. We hope to see you back here in the future. With contract negotiations out of the way, let's drop right into the action, Mechwarriors, shall we? Last episode, our premiere outing, if you will, saw our recently contracted Drake's Fangs, who have seen a bit of a run of hard luck, take a lucrative seeding contract that pulled them out onto the far rimward periphery to the planet of Salient 7, a scrap mining world that has been, let's say, infested with a bit of pirates recently. Speaking of said pirates, our mercs dropped in. They smacked right into an ash storm, unfortunately. Gotta avoid those, friends. It's a bit hard to. Thankfully, the landing was rough but stable, and they were able to disembark with a few bangs and bruises, but nothing too serious. Unfortunately, they were seen. Thankfully, with some quick planning on behalf of one of the squad mates and some coordination on behalf of the rest of them, they were able to encounter the pirates' recon lance, smack them around a fair bit, take at least one captive for questioning, and make it back home in time for dinner. Having had some time to recuperate, reset your mechs into their cranes and have them loaded into their ammo feeds to be prepared for resupply and re-ammunition, some of you did lose a bit of armor, for lack of better terminology, we find our mercenaries aboard their dropship. As mentioned, your XO, Camilla Storance, Sierra's sister, made very clear that you all would be arranged ground car transport to take you to a town you all saw about 30 clicks out from where you had your little scrap with those pirates. You also know the location of their base, the massive scrapyard which once housed an SLDF warship and doesn't now for some reason. Nonetheless, you are all inbound aboard it's a wheeled car, but the wheels are massive, almost like lunar landers with very, very big, strong tracks kind of eat up all that sand and dust and ash that's being kicked up all around you. The ground car rumbles, and it's large enough to see all of you comfortably in its sort of back compartment. There's a window separating you all from the driver, so you can have a private conversation separate from them privately. You all can easily make yourselves comfortable here, and from what you all hear, in fact, actually, I'll say it properly, As the camera slides back through the driver's seat, the individual who is currently piloting your ground car pops themselves into the inter-car comm and just says, "About 10 clicks out. Should only be a few minutes from now." And from there, we'll slide ourselves on backward into the rear cabin where our 4 mercenaries are waiting. Darlings, as I am so fond of saying, the scene is yours.
Alrighty.
Who is driving? Is it somebody who's regularly part of our crew, or?
This appears to be like Camilla rented some ground car transport for you all from a local
From
resource.
the town.
Some local who's driving you all around. Doesn't seem to be asking any questions.
Okay, cool. Chill. So, I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page here. We're not going in guns blazing, right? Direct eye contact with Herda.
You know, my usual motto is, I don't swing first, but if somebody swings, I'm finishing the fight. Clear?
It's a good motto to have.
I guess all I can ask is that we at least try diplomacy first. If I know anything about these kind of backwater towns, the likelihood that the locals have either been pressured into assisting or completely unwilling in the circumstances surrounding their active occupation is high. So I'd rather not just kill people for no reason, you know? But I do fully stand behind people getting iced just because they're terrible, so no complaints from me in that regard.
Yeah, well, and if bullets start flying, we gotta make sure we all get out of there.
Alright.
Who said anything about guns? Wimps.
Also quickly out of character, just so the audience knows. First thing Foxy said to us was, you know your armor? Have that. We're doing deadly combat. So
No, yo!
that's stressful.
Listen,
I can't hear you,
listen.
Foxy.
You're
Listen,
muted.
we have to out the GM when the GM is being mean.
It's a rule in the rule book, okay? It's present. It's an optional rule present in the rule book. I'm not just.
I didn't sign up for that rule
Optional that you chose.
Someone put
without
Rainbow
really
Quantum.
telling us that character
Shut up.
creation.
Crazy.
Listen, you'll be fine. All right.
You didn't tell us that character creation though, buddy. I'm just saying
I-
this. I'm outing you right
that's my
here.
That's my.
All the more reason to maybe talk instead of shoot first.
Hilarious though is Herd is not a talk then punch first built character.
Oh, I know. That's
Well, we will, you know, we'll sit and watch and, you know, scary dog while Sierra does some talking. I think,
Yeah.
you know, that's my way of playing.
I'll have scary dog privilege. It's okay.
Woof, woof, woof.
Okay. How far are we from this town?
You were told 10 clicks about, you know, timing-wise about a minute or so ago, and given the rate this thing moves, you're probably about a solid 8-9 minutes out, maybe a little bit more.
Okay, so not very far at all.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I guess Sierra will tap on the window that separates us from the driver and see if we can get
There's a
some
comm,
quick
if you want to.
information. Oh, a comm. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not limo style. I'm so sorry, darling. Did we get your name as we boarded?
Jericho. That's what everybody calls me.
Jericho. Well, it's very nice to meet you. If we were to be inquiring for some information, what's the best place to hit? The local watering hole, or what are we looking at?
You're heading into Rust, yeah? Which, I mean, you could probably assume is the name of the town you're all headed towards, or at least what the locals tend to call it.
Rust. All right. Yeah, I assume so.
Right. Well, I ain't gonna call it much of a place of social acclimation, right? Locals here are working folk first and relaxing folk second. Still, people gotta live, yeah? And in places like this, you set up a living wherever you can. And he kind of like goes into like a bit of a sort of separation and just says, in fact, they say a lot of the first buildings that got made in Rust were made from the wreckage of a monolith-class dropship. Back from the planet a couple centuries back, and they, well, scrapped it together.
Interesting. What would you say is the primary work that people of Rust do? Mining?
Either mining or scrapping. If you ain't mining or scrapping, you're probably a pirate.
Well, it's fair to assume. Is it common for people in town to take up piracy themselves, or is it more of an in-and-out kind of service?
Dearest, this far away from the inner sphere, anybody can fall on anything if you ask them enough questions or give them enough incentive to do so. We get plenty of types around here. Your gentiles, your kindly ones, your sharp ones, and your ones willing to take whatever they feel like.
Say that you're just a lady who's traveled around space and all that kind of stuff. Is there anything that I should be particularly worried about?
Kind of says, well, speaking of the pirates, a lot of our usual rabble are, well, raiders, scrappers, salvagers, taking whatever they can and getting the hell out of here. Recently, though, we've had some, I'm going to use the word squatters to be respectful. Ignorant little shits who won't stop taking what they don't deserve.
I understand. Would I say that you're common one in these parts?
You will. I think, in sort of response, the camera will kind of pan as you guys sort of slowly begin to approach the town more, kind of briefly flowing outside of the ground car, and we'll hear over the kind of the, narrator voice almost. We'll hear the driver just say, "Love, out here, ain't no such thing as normal."
Of us are all that normal at us, so it's something that we can probably relate to. Well, I guess we'll defer to your expertise and go to, I don't know, the local inn or bar or whatever you think is the best place for us to maybe have a conversation with some people around here. We wanted to know more about the work that's done and maybe some of the locals. We're looking for somebody in particular, but it's kind of difficult to find a specific name. I'm lying out of my fucking ass.
Well, thankfully for you, I won't make you roll here, as I don't think he frankly cares enough, actually, to bother to inquire whether or not you're actually honest about any of that. This is just work small talk for him, frankly. He does respond to a previous point you mentioned, though, and just bust into a bar in town ain't that hard to miss. It's one of the bigger buildings outside in there. Big relative to a shit heap like this. Ain't got a name, not much out here does, but you know when you see it.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Jericho. I really appreciate it.
Doing my job, man. Close it up. Don't need anything else, I recommend you saddle up and put some coats on.
Goose reaches over Sierra and hits the intercom again. Hey Jericho, what do you recommend a drink when we're in town?
He gives a chuckle that sounds like a laugh from someone who spent their life surrounded by the dust of various minerals and rocks. Tell him you want oil slick when you get in there.
Copy that.
Don't drink yourself sick now, kid.
I'll be fine, just one or two.
That's what I always say.
You know what an angel shot is, yeah?
Yeah, you ask for one of those when someone's bothering you at the bar.
Yeah, and it's water? Maybe be careful about asking for a few things of those regards so we can keep things kosher. You know?
Yeah, you're right, we're on the job.
Oh, where I grew up, we called just the water shots dolphin shots.
Well, that's fair.
Blue dolphins, specifically.
The only thing I'm concerned about, I don't care if you drink. Oh, sorry.
Jerk his a little and just said, "Speaking of which, that accent sounds a little familiar. Where you from, girlie?"
Where I'm
Me.
from?
Mm-hmm.
Me? Oh, Oh, well, I'm from the Outworld Alliance.
He kind of laughs a little bit and just, long way from home. Meant the short one, though. Kind of like,
No. I'm a traveler, so I like hopping around and learning new things.
Sierra,
Very, very helpful. to
Desert
have all of
heat.
these around me. What?
he's speaking to me.
Oh.
Free Worlds League. Mom's Cretan, though.
he kind of just, Atreus. Which you would know is a planet in the Free Worlds League.
Not 3.
It's the capital world.
Yeah.
Of the Free Worlds League.
Yeah, I would know that, obviously.
Mhm.
Oh, Not 3.
Pretty close to Terra. Near the track border. You see any fighting?
Oh, plenty. I mean, our pride and joy of Connaught 3 is, just reduced down to mech repairs right now, but, we, everybody still wants to take it down. You know how it is.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask questions, but that dropship you came on sure didn't seem civilian. Hey, ain't my business. Y'all already paid me.
Well, I don't know where they got that one. I just came along for the ride.
All right, folks. Well, my leg of this trip is done. Y'all come to get now?
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Gentlemanly treatment.
I appreciate your service, your conversation, and most importantly, your sea bills.
How much do you prefer for the whereabouts of our ship to be kept a conversation between us?
I don't know. We don't get many dropships dropping down on here. Anybody nearby probably saw at least something coming down from the heavens. If they ask any questions, it might be hard to come up with a convincing story, but 50 sea bills might maybe talk a little bit differently. Which y'all would know. 50 sea bills, like, yeah, sure, y'all are poor ass merc. 50 sea bills is nothing.
But it's something on this world.
Alright, well, that gives us a good mark for how much things should cost here so we don't get swindled to hell and back. So, alrighty. Let's boogie.
The ground car door opens, and as you all step out, the window briefly comes down. Jericho kind of puts up a hood for a brief moment and just, y'all ain't in here to get in no trouble, are ya?
I hope not, that's the goal.
Trying.
Furthest from it.
He kind of looks over to the side a bit. More sea bills, I'll stick around for a little bit. In case you have to pop back up rapidly for some reason.
How happy are you with the current predicament that you're in on Rust?
You hired me?
I'm asking you if you can drive fast and show us that later, that there might be some benefit.
Hey, well, money talks, love. I'll stick around. Just don't take too much, alright? Got other places to be.
Alright, well, don't go too far.
And I just like points out to like the outskirts of the town. You seen this shithole, kid? Ain't much places to go.
It's Saskatchewan. Continue.
All right, friends.
It's Staten Island. Got it.
It's North Dakota. No, the common joke. Brief aside. The common joke in North Dakota is you can watch your dog run away, and for 3 days you'd still see them on the horizon.
That's
That's
exactly
hilarious,
what they
actually.
say about Saskatchewan. Exactly.
That's so funny, actually.
That's
Y'all should live where people
actually wild.
are.
But I'm not in North Dakota. That's just how South Dakotans rag on North Dakotans.
Fair enough. Well, ragging on our home states aside, let's talk a little bit about what you all exit to. Putting it simply, Rust isn't much to look at. Not really at all, frankly. What you see around you are rough, kind of dome, or in some cases kind of angular shape that clearly look like they've been welded together from large plates of, if you had to guess, drop ships, a couple of shipping containers. There might even be a small like hab module that was refitted once or twice. This is not the place anyone wants to settle in for retirement, let's be honest. What it is, however, is populated, to some degree at least. I'm not saying you're seeing the busy streets of Manhattan, although you wouldn't know what that is because none of you, I imagine, have been on Terra. But there are people, few, busying themselves left and right, traveling, moving in places, quietly, occasionally throwing a nod or a hand wave to somebody as they pass by. None of them seem to bother to notice the four of you as you kind of step into the town. You know, four people walking around ain't necessarily anything too brand new, or if anything, maybe your hoods or your jackets or your clothing is obscuring you enough that they can't really see you well to know that you're strangers just yet. You see a few buildings. None seem too noticeable. It might be hard to tell what's someone's home versus what's someone's place of business, if you can call that anywhere. But in what might account to the closest thing you can see as like the center, or maybe perhaps the western center of this small little sack of humanity, you see what looks like. Well, you've all seen enough dropships to know what the top of a spheroid dropship looks like. This looks like if someone cut the top maybe like 16th of the last trip home off and just popped it on the ground, cut a door into it and some windows, and called it a place. That said, it's still part of a dropship, so it's huge enough that it can hold several people. But I don't think anybody is calling it a regularly safe place of business. That said, between the lights you see outside, and the fact that there are at least 2 or 3 people smoking some kind of drug stick or cigar stick of some kind outside, it's probably that's probably what you're looking for. If anything's a bar, probably the closest you're gonna get.
This is reminding me of Trigun, and I am here for it. Cowboy Bebop and
You're
Trigun.
welcome.
Yeah. All right. Unless anyone wants to say anything, I will approach the establishment. Enter.
Reminds me of the bar my peepaw used to go to.
You a peepaw?
Grandpappy.
Okay.
Was he a drinking man?
You could say that.
Okay. Why wouldn't you say?
He liked to hang around and just eat peanuts and watch sports ball.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Probably
your
better
local
for you
shitholes. Well, your local watering hole's good for that.
I have no idea who my grandfather is. Anyways, let's go inside.
Right, so let me briefly establish some tavern sounds real quick, as I have to add some to my soundscape immediately, because I forgot to do that. My bad.
I want.
Some tavern sounds. Listen. I can't do that for copyright reasons, but I can give you a little bit of tunes as you guys step into this little pocket of humanity. So, the tavern, the bar, the establishment, whatever you'd like to call it, it's busy. There's a certain collection of people here. I'd say if you were counting them in groups, there's maybe 8 or 9 groups, easily ranging from like 2 or 3 to maybe 7 or 8 people. It's not blaringly loud. You can easily have a conversation at a normal volume and still be heard. But there's definitely, some places to busy yourself with. It looks like while there's only one floor to this place, the fact that this ovoid dropship shape is taken up, you can see small, definitely not very safe looking stairs that lead up to kind of like outcropping balcony portions where sort of maybe like a command deck or a bridge was just fully like either broken off, cut out, or just wasn't there in the first place. And they've kind of put up some, welded some railings in, put some tables up there. So there's a few places you can find yourself, whether you want to stay together or split up. I'm going to make this really simple for you guys, and I'm going to just point out a couple of, let's say, points of interest, and how you want to tackle them, whether you want to go to them one at a time or split up or tackle them, is up to you all. But I'm going to tell you what they are first, and you can do what you will accordingly. First, most obviously, is the bar. In what looks like the central where what would have been, and you guys again know because you operate on a spheroid dropship, what would have been the main lift shaft being between like this deck and like the lower mech bays or anything else, is clearly not functioning, given that it's bent in half at like the very top. But at the lower portion of it has been hollowed out, and there are several rows and shelves of various liquids of various colors, all stored behind them. And there's an individual who, hopefully from far away, looks femme presenting, has a sweater on, and is kind of making her way busying, pouring a drink here or there, making conversation, passing a bit of a smile. She does seem to have a cigar between her fingers that she's working with, as she's not dealing with drinks and taking some puffs from. So the bar is obviously one place you can obviously investigate if you're looking to talk to somebody. Elsewise, there are a couple other points of interest. In general, there are a couple of groups of normal-seeming folk, maybe perhaps the people who just, want to make some conversation or are just there for a good time post-work, minding their own business. Elsewise, what does seem a bit curious is there are, so again, there's just, some regular people you can go talk to if you'd like to, but there is another sort of separate table where you can see another, again, also femme-looking individual sitting by herself, with a drink nestled in hand, she's taking small sips from and kind of keeping an eye on the room around her, but she's kind of nestled off into a corner, sitting by herself, although she's at a table that has chairs around it, she is sitting by herself with no one else bothering her. So those are kind of like your three primary points of interest. You can just kind of go pull up to a random group of people and talk to somebody if you'd like to. You can go check out the bar. You can see that random woman sitting there. There's also another individual sitting by themselves. They don't appear as femme presenting. In fact, they I'd even go as far as to say they seem masc presenting. But I'd say if you look for a definable feature, you'd see two. One, they're bald. Two, although you really can't see them, they appear to have some kind of markings on the side of their face, like kind of going to the side, off to one side. So those are your four places you can check out. The bar, a random group of folks, or, something else similar.
I have a question, Foxy.
I have an answer for you, boss.
It is very integral to Goose's character. Is there a jukebox?
There are two
Goose.
things. One, there is what looks like there are two sort of entertainment stations. One does appear to be like a loudspeaker or some kind of other various, sort of like music playing device. It's cycling some very low, simple ambient tunes right now. Nothing crazy, very, very straightforward and simple. The other is what looks to be like a pair of relatively large vid screens that are kind of precariously hung from one of the side walls, several tables and chairs and smoking decks around them. I don't think any of you would need to guess this too hard. But actually no, I'll save that if anybody wants to approach. There are some screens that appear to be playing some kind of entertainment. People are gathering around, watching, occasionally giving a cheer or calling out something that's happening on screen. It's a bit too far to see from where you are from the angle of the door, but there is something happening over there. But yes, there is a system that can play music.
The lady who's sitting alone, what is she wearing? Does she look like she's wearing working clothes, or is it...
It's tough to say, given that nobody here looks particularly extravagant. Nobody here is dressed to the nines, obviously. There definitely are some folks who probably just got off of a scrap or a mining ship. They're overalls covered in grime and dirt. Like, those folks, they just came from work. You can tell that, obviously. Other folks, because of how they dress, you can't tell if it's like did you come from work already? Are you going to work soon? Do you just dress like this because it's all you have? Hard to tell. The woman sitting alone, if I had to put it in like a tier system, I would say maybe looks one step above like your average random worker. She's got a bit of a jacket on that has a bit of a fur collar to it. It's scruffy and patched a little bit here or there, but she definitely, I would say, maybe looks a slight step above your average like random worker here or there.
I'm trying to determine if anyone, like, quote-unquote, looks like they'd be a pirate opposed to somebody who's, like, was obviously mining or whatever, but that's not easily discernible, that's fine.
I would say it's not easily discernible from, just kind of sweeping around the room. If you, approach someone and talk to them more or, look at them more closely, you might be able to tell this person's a miner, this person's a worker, this person's something else,
First person Sierra talks to, Yar!
Yeah,
Walks
just
up,
that.
oh, excuse me, puts on an eye patch. I'm sorry, how are you? Nice to meet you. I wasn't in college.
Well, first things first for me, I'm gonna get a drink. All of you behave, I guess?
Are we splitting up, or what's the plan?
You can come with me. No, I'm not gonna force anybody to do anything.
I was gonna see what their song selection was like.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear in just a little bit.
Don't start jukebox fights, Goose. That's kind of like... It's actually really lame, and I won't back you up on that one. Really don't.
Alright, but if Footloose comes on and I need like a dance partner to box some
Fine.
ears in.
Fine. That
Gonna
one,
play classic
I'll agree.
music?
I just had a brief brain explosion moment when I realized that, like, because we're in the year 3025, saying like I'm gonna play some Footloose is like walking in a bar and being like, yo, they got Beethoven in here. Like,
Yeah, like my vitality is somebody singing Yankee Doodle, like
here.
You now to dance at the Sugar Plum Fairies.
Like, you're
Who wants to put on Tchaikovsky's
Oh my God.
1812
Yeah,
overture?
Mozart is still dropping bangers. They found in one of his pieces of work like the last month.
They did.
I want
Did
to
you also know?
strangle you.
Did you also know that like Tchaikovsky was actively found out to be gay, and they just censored him, as most
more
Russian
you
media does.
If you put cannons in your musical piece, I assume you're some sort of LGBTQ.
Did you guys also know that almost every famous composer has died after they released their 13th symphony?
I did not know
Welcome to
that.
the
Huh.
trivia version of
Look at them.
Mercenary
There's a
2, by the way. So
conspiracy
hope you have a
about
good
it.
time
Anyways,
learning
let's continue.
back at home.
This is now classical
Okay.
music chat. Welcome to our podcast.
I was gonna say I think River will also head to the bar.
All right, two people go up to the bar. We'll present the jukebox. Just so you're aware, Goose, while there are a couple of people who are like near the jukebox, it's not far from where the screens are, obviously. The individual I mentioned with the markings on their face is sitting kind of near the jukebox. So if you wanted to talk to them while you're over there, you could do that. And that just leaves you. What's your plan?
You know what? There's that lady in the corner.
There's a lady in the corner.
There's a lady in a corner.
All right.
Corner. That's
Anyone have a strong
Don't be
desire
too
to-
hurdy, Horda.
Anybody have a strong desire to engage in their interaction first, or can I just like roll a die and decide where we're going first? Up to y'all.
I'm good with rolling.
Sure, go for it.
Cool.
Roll it.
Let me get me a D8 then, since I have those somewhere in this collection of mine. Perfect. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's a 3. So, I suppose we're starting off with the bar then, which seems appropriate. So, River and Sierra. You approach the bar. The individual behind the bar, the woman behind the bar, is, you know, there's a couple people sitting at the bar hanging out. So there's people handing some making small chat. She hands a drink back and forth. But as you two approach, she clearly recognizes that there are two newcomers present to a bar, as any bartender would. She, after pouring a drink into a cup, turns back over to you all, takes a draw from her cigar, and just, I ain't seen you two before.
No, new. Just passing through.
Can't complain for a new face. Which G you looking for, huh?
I'm okay with the cosmic rain. What do you have?
Something bitter.
All right then. Let's advance your G then. And she kind of turns and pulls two quarter cups down, goes through her shelves. Cosmic rain. I swore I hadn't emptied my bottle of that just yet. The Canopian merchant stopped by City System for a little bit. Jumped ship accident, that malfunctioned Solomon system for a little while and wanted to tour the town for a bit. Well, it wasn't much fun. They traded me for a bottle, and well, this is she's gonna swing around a small, like, not too, like maybe about a third full. And this is about the last of it. I'm gonna make you what? Hey, I'm gonna pass it out. I pass it off to you. And she kind of pours some of that and just kind of turns around and says, "Now for my bitter drinker over there, you adventurous?"
Hey, dealer's choice.
Careful with that. She turns around and sort of.
I was just very quietly, Sierra is definitely going to flirt with their husband. Of being like, this adventurous and bitter sounds like you got a mixed combination of taste. Like, just very, like, casually, like.
Oh yeah, no. She takes a moment, comes back, and she kind of pours. It takes a moment actually for you, River. As she kind of grabs what looks to be like at first like a small clear for less than alcohol, some kind. You can kind of smell the burn already from where you are. Pour that into about a third of the glass. Grabs one or two ice, like again, like there. And this is like just like a random slab of ice they've kind of pulled from somewhere and like washed down and like are cutting pieces off. Cuts off 2 rough chunks of ice with a small knife. Drops them into the cube, and then reaches under the counter and pulls out what looks like just like a vial about the size of her head, filled with, you would swear that was like industrial fucking like reactant. Like you're
This is
not
oil
it's
flick?
not literal, like, this is she pours
This is
the
what I was
rest
gonna
in, It doesn't mix with the clear, but they swirl in a very interesting kind of like the black creates a really strong swirl in the cup through the ice. You go, it kind of literally flicks the glass towards you somewhat. Single oil slick for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Happy to be of service. My manners, by the way. Happy to be this is up to the she kind of quirks an eyebrow. Happy couple.
River will
Yeah.
grab Sierra.
Yeah, Sierra will just seem to be like, oh, elated, but close enough.
He sort of gives a chuckle, takes another drag from a cigar, and just kind of holds out a hand. Valdez. Marina Valdez. I'm just Marina around here, though.
Marina Valdez.
And there's an image present for you all on the screen.
I like your eye makeup, Marina. Well,
She goes,
Marina,
well, a gal has to try when you do a job like mine.
I
Well,
mean,
you
hardly.
make drinks
Look at
damn
you.
good.
Oh, shucks now. Careful.
don't worry. Are you from around here originally, Marina?
Born and raised. Right in this little shit heap.
Well, you know, not to be rude or anything like that, but, you know, most people you see around here are like working folk. So, I don't know how well our driver said that it's maybe not super prosperous to be working in an establishment such as this because people are always so busy.
He kind of leans back a little bit. Granddad came here from the Fed Zones a couple years back. A couple decades back. Settled down to work the mine for a while. Worked there before that for a while. Then some pirates hit. They fended him off, but he lost an arm in the raid. Prosthetics ain't a thing we can afford out here, so he settled down in this little shithole. Followed the first dibs on the biggest piece of dropship he could. Made it into this little hole here. Pass it to Mama. Pass it to me.
Are pirates common around here then?
About as common as ash storms and mining accidents.
So do you consistently have an occupying party, or, you know, do the locals mostly try and scare them off?
She leans back some. So you know about the Grizzlys, huh?
No.
Yeah, well, commonly pirate folk around here tend to be, let's say, hit-and-run types. They come in, scare us all, grab whatever they can from the local supply town or scrapyard, and fuck off back to the Periphery. Recently, though, one of our more notable band only stuck around. We had about a month or two back. Hit a local scrapyard, killed almost everybody on site. Went to the local administration, killed everybody there. Came here and said if we bothered to fuck with them, well, you can fill in the rest.
Dang. Why would they do something like that? What would
Hell if I know.
possess them? Interesting. Well,
But if
for
I were a
our
girl who
own-
dealt in rumors, and she kind of like leans forward a little bit, looking between you and River. But if I were a girl who dealt in rumors, and the phrase "dealt in rumors" is very specific here. He's waiting for you to pay her.
I am aware if Sierra is going to act dumb. Because she's not going to spend money unnecessarily.
Well,
River, any response from you?
I'll follow the lady.
well,
Who am I to contradict my wife?
Just like me.
well, I mean, I don't deal much other than cards, but, I don't know, how much of a adventurous woman are you?
He gives just the most melodious chuckle you think you've ever heard a woman give in a while. And just, now, madam, talk like that in front of your spouse is gonna get me leaving with both of you. Let's be careful now, shall we?
Whoa.
It's up to River, so.
And, you know, phrases my way. Typically.
Yeah, River,
And I won't ask you to share.
But
that is fine.
However, given that we don't get inquisitive types around here very often, I'll give you this one for free. For the company. No guy, regular of mine, used to drop by. Says he worked scrap not too far from where they hit. He saw the pirates come down this time. He didn't say anything specific. He don't know military equipment. He said whatever they're... He said he watched them file out. A couple of scout VTOLs first, then maybe a couple of tanks, then the mechs. And mechs ain't all too common out here. They're expensive if you ain't heard. But these folks, yeah, they had a good few with them. And from what he said, one of them was real big.
That's an interesting conundrum.
Makes a girl wonder where the hell did some random pirates get money for equipment like that?
Yeah, and why they'd be housing it here, of all places. Interesting. Well, is there anybody in particular that you would suggest that we speak to, or maybe avoid speaking to?
He kind of looks around and just... I hate to say that it's hard to tell these days, but... Well, everyone around here looks a little bit roughed up. I'd just say... Be about as guarded with who you might really be as you have been with me so far. And she gives you a bit of a wink.
Oh, wait, I feel rude now. My name's Sierra. I think I said that. No, River said their name. I don't think I said mine. Apologies.
Oh, I don't...
She kind of leans over somewhat and just... Wasn't worried about your names.
I mean, with a face like hers, can't miss
Pretty
her.
memorable.
She leans down, and if you're comfortable, she kind of takes a hand in each of yours and like kind of rubs it along the inside of them. Far too callous to just be travelers. Way, I guess? Mercenaries. Mechwarriors, maybe?
Oh, well, workers for sure, but I'm a little bit more of a search and finder, if you would prefer.
Right. Well, you just go ahead and keep on being that. That's my advice.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Marina. I appreciate your honesty and forthrightness.
Canada says, well, if you ever find yourself back in town, either of you, stop by and see a pretty face, would you?
Of course, won't be able to miss it.
She kind of turns over and finish those drinks. I ain't got a drain.
I'm imagining also that a Cosmic Rain, is that what I said it was? Cosmic Rain? Is one of those drinks that have like the sparkles in it that like are like moving around.
It's got glitteries.
Yeah. Anyways.
So,
I guess we'll go get a table.
You two? Yes, anything you two want to say straight up before I pass the camera on to one of our other friends?
Good for right now. Get a table so
Alright.
people can join us in a bit if they prefer.
All right, then. Brady, highs, lows.
Lows.
2.
Dang it. Oh no. Ah.
You slide yourself on over towards this lady you see sitting by yourself, and she's kind of nursing a drink. And as you approach, she, I won't say becomes guarded. She doesn't reject you or anything like that. But she certainly does shift her stance a little bit, eye you. And as you kind of approach, she does flick her eyes down towards the seat near her, as if sort of questioning whether or not you're going to sit down. Do you?
It's an open invitation. Where do I sit?
Might have been more of like a, is that your plan kind of thing, but the way she doesn't seem to reject you as you sit down or anything like that. Let's speak it first, though.
Lovely. Gotta make me be the... She's making me be the first speaker.
She ain't the bartender.
No, she ain't. And it's fine.
Show her your best riz.
Hit her with the, hey.
Hey, how you doing?
You come here often.
You should just pull a full-on Dexter and just say, croissant. Quietly into people's ear.
Right.
It's omelette au fromage.
Yeah,
That's the
right.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Croissant is Carl Weezer.
Yes, you are
God,
correct.
you're killing me. Herda, what's your opener here, huh?
Well, you got quite a bit of a fancier coat on you. Just came out of work?
She chuckles a little. You call a ragged thing like this fancy? No, I ain't been at work for a while, but it's cold, so.
Fair.
She kind of looks over and just. If you're here for some company, I hate to say that I might not be in the best mood.
I'm sorry.
Then again. No, please.
No, go ahead. No,
Then again, I don't think you seem that familiar. Got a name?
Herda. You got one?
Nairobi Jolly. Scrap foreman.
Ah, I see. So you are
Sorry,
a little
should have
bit.
given you a nice little, brace yourself for woman pretty. There you go.
Oh, wait, woman pretty. Whoa, hello.
She's so cute! What a cutie!
I warned you.
Oh my god!
What a
Marry
little
me.
baby.
Sorry. Down Herda.
Or don't. I don't know. Your call.
Woman pretty. Woman pretty.
I hope you know that.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to speed this along, but brain is just like. Anyway.
No, you're fine. I'm just letting you know you're getting clipped. Like that's the that's the
I-
reality. It's probably already happened, honestly.
I'm pretty sure it has been. If it hasn't, I know Bailey's gonna come back and clip, much like how Bailey's been clipping a good death.
If you give me clipping privileges, I'll do it longer ones.
We'll talk.
Nairobi. That is a very pretty name for a very pretty lady.
Oh, flatterer. Appreciate it. My mother gave it to me.
I'm certain she gave you other pretty things too, huh?
I'd say a few. Good place to live. Comfortable workplace. Decent environment where I get to learn new things constantly.
That sounds wonderful to hear. So you're a scrap foreman, right?
Yep. Well, was, I suppose.
Was? Now what happened to that? If you don't mind me prying.
That's fine. I haven't gotten quite offended by anyone, but, well. The fact of the matter is, some shithole pirates smacked my facility not too long ago. Killed a lot of my good people.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
The trouble wouldn't be the attack. Raids happen here and there. Got some turrets installed for that reason. The problem is they stuck around. Squatters.
Squatters. Okay, now, you said you got some turrets, obviously, for these raids. I don't want to play my hand a little too heavy, obviously, I'm a outsider here, but wouldn't most of those deter, like, regular ground forces?
Yep. The reason you pirates came so well equipped is something I am still baffled by.
Really? Do tell. I'll buy you a drink.
Well, I couldn't quite see them up close, unfortunately, so I couldn't give you specific details. But I will say that it was brutal. From what I saw before I left the facility, there wasn't much left to be operational. The guards I had, turrets I put up, didn't really mean much in the end.
So they had mechs.
A little number of them, too. You're awful curious. What's the interest?
Well, I grew up in the Free Worlds League on Hanok 3. so I know a thing or two about mechs.
Huh. American, isn't it? And you found your way all the way down here in the deep periphery. I have to ask the reason.
Well, that reason, unfortunately, I can't quite say too much. I'm in a business of finding things, as it were.
And whatever you're looking for has something to do with my scrapyard.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm terribly sorry to be much of a client.
She says, well, let's say I don't mind as long as you decide to be a little bit more forward. We might just be able to align on some things.
You said they're squatting in your former scrapyard.
Mm-hmm. Such would be the case. Local forces haven't been able to rally any militia. The administration was killed by them, but after they took my base. And let's say no one around here has the money to randomly throw in mercenaries. Unless, of course, a great house suddenly decided to take interest.
There might be rumors on the wind about that, but unfortunately, these leaps are still pretty well sealed in that regards. But I do think I can get you to the person I'm under. If you're willing to work with us on this.
Interesting. Herta, could you do me 2 favors? Actually, just one. Could you make me I don't think that you would have like a deception or an act. Do you have like an acting skill of any kind?
Let me double check my sheet.
That's fine. I was doing the same thing.
Also, Marina's real pretty.
Doesn't seem like it.
I didn't take a look. No, I did not take one.
So in that case, you simply roll me a check with your charisma bonus twice. So you're going to be rolling 2d6 plus 2 plus 2. This is going to be an average difficulty roll, so I'm rolling 3d6 against you, and if you get higher than me, you pass here.
Okay, so 2d6 plus 4.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it's not a bad roll for me.
I made the mistake of using the dice from last week.
Uh-oh. What we got?
Well, I got a 4. But plus 4 is 8.
An 8 is not going to do it, unfortunately.
Damn it!
Leans backward, thumb and just. You have to know, as a woman who's recently lost her fortune, I can't just go dealing with unscrupulous individuals I have no unfitting representation of. You'll have to give me a bit more than that. Let's be frank with each other, shall we? The Free World's Leaguer isn't going to be here for simply no reason. Are you Merrick Militia, Atrian Knights, or some other sort of mercenary operation helping with House Merrick?
Well, first of all, House Merrick isn't connected to this. That's about as upfront as I can be. I'm with a different little, conglomerate, as it were. All of us are from little pockets of space.
Independent mercenaries, then?
Yes.
Then perhaps we can help each other.
I'm absolutely certain of it. Also, honestly, God, I'm real bad at holding up a front.
It's fine. You're cute when you lie.
Aw, you find me cute and adorable? Well, geez. Sure know how to talk to a woman, eh?
We'll keep it business for now, darling. We'll deal with that one later.
Fine. Are you still gonna take the drink, though? I wouldn't terribly mind offering one. I'm not much for alcohol myself.
Take a moment, he says. Tell you what, given that we'll be in future contact, I'll rain check you on it. Instead, I have to speak with a business partner.
Alright.
Interesting developments. Interesting things happening on this small little dust ball.
Of course. And Herta just, slides forward her contact info. One of those, I assume we have, little QR code business chip things.
Sure.
Yeah, Herta just, a contact card. So she just, slides a contact card across the table.
She says, I'll keep it. You'll be seeing me soon, I'm certain.
Absolutely. That's a direct line to me.
She passes it. Slides it into the pocket of her jacket. Well, Wasn't expected, but I thank you for the company, Erda.
And I thank you for the company and for being forthright. Nairobi, I do hope we do actually get a chance to work with each other soon.
She's sort of begins to get up. Never you mind, darling. I am the very soul of honesty. Offers a smile and sort of turns to wave away. You be safe out there.
You too.
Alright, let's see if Goose gets 3 for 3 now.
3 for 3?
All right.
Yeah, who's gonna
Three.
get somebody's
Go
phone number?
jukebox! Go jukebox!
All right.
Music brings out conversations.
Bruce, you make your way slightly past the two entertainment screens, where as you're closer now, you can see that they are playing. It's grainy and sketchy in places and cut somewhere, so you know it's definitely a vid recording and not a live feed. There's no way to get a live feed this far out, although they're basically on system. It looks to be an old footage of one of the minor Solaris 7 Gladiator League. Mechwarrior lore note here. Solaris 7 is a world entirely focused on Gladiator and like fighting for everything from like small exosuits to like full-on mech scale combat. Mercenaries, house units, everyone makes their way to Solaris 7 for some while for gambling, betting, or partaking in the games, and those games get broadcast out via Comstar communication lines all over the inner sphere for consumption. So seeing the Solaris 7 game being broadcast in a bar like this is very, very far from uncommon. In fact, I'm pretty sure at least one of you could even be a fan of the games. Who knows?
If there's gambling involved, definitely see
There are
it.
bets. There is betting involved on Solaris 7 games.
Fantasy
there
Horse
is
Racing or
betting
whatever.
involved in Solaris 7.
It's literally Vegas. It's Mech
Yeah.
Vegas.
I
Yeah, I was
feel
gonna say, like,
Vegas, but it's Mech Vegas, but lets people die.
So
Yeah.
it's Mech Vegas.
It's Mech Vegas. I feel like everybody in the crew all bonds over Solaris 7 games for all different reasons.
Thank you for that. I needed that. Thank you for that. Bruce, you make your way past the Solaris 7 game being played, past some rowdy bar-goers, over to the sort of still ambiently playing sort of some soft, rickety, glitchy tune jukebox. Next to it is sat that individual I've mentioned who has those markings across his face. The lighting is a bit lower back here, so you probably still can't really see those markings too well unless you actually approach and like get to the jukebox and, you know, engage with him maybe. But as you're approaching, you can still see him kind of sitting there. He cuts up an eye at you, you know, follows you as you're walking, but then kind of brings his eyes back down quickly again.
Goose makes his way over to the jukebox and starts pressing the next track button to flip through, like the song list. And when he doesn't spot anything like he particularly likes, he will like passively make conversation like, is there anything good on this thing, or is it all just
Junk. Bullshit.
yeah?
Yep.
Well, that's gone forever.
Oh no!
He looks up, takes a drag from a cigar that you can still make sure you've been around a couple cigars. Cigars is still a thing that people make with here. Whatever they are inhaling does not smell like a cigar.
It's drugs.
Yeah.
It's the drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs. Oh,
It's
no,
just,
thank you. We're good. Drugs.
Who invited
Bailey,
you?
Bailey, I love you. I love you, friend. Please be
Yeah.
my bestie forever.
Goose doesn't judge. It's just a quirked eyebrow, though. So what do y'all do for fun around here if y'all don't got good music?
Kind of looks up at you. Sit on my ass. Smoke. Stop thinking about things.
You know, that is a fair assessment. What are you drinking?
Kind of looks down and just oil slick. You had one? Don't think you're from around here.
Nah, I was recommended it, though, by our driver. He'll, like, crane his neck, not looking at him.
He nudges his half full glass over to you. Go on then.
Time for a dumb roll. Yep. Goose
I
takes
love dumb rolls.
Goose takes a sniff. What are the notes? Is it motor oil?
You ever smelled Camden?
The
Is
place?
it Camden, New Jersey?
Yes.
Smells like Camden, New Jersey.
Oh my god. That's a very visceral feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ew. I've never been there, and that sounds awful.
Well, me and Ma didn't raise no quitter. And he will slam it back.
As you finish the entirety, like what the last sort of slick of like, you know, dark liquid ends up in, you know, in the like utility out of the glass, and like once you fully hit that, the person's like gulp. The person in front will just, hey, all right, come on, grab a seat.
Oh, what can I get you that is not that? Oh my god.
And he just says, give it a sec. And it burns, Goose. It's like in your nose burning. It's rough for a second.
It's literally like a murky Everclear.
Mm-hmm. But like as you're like, much like Everclear, once you start breathing through it, you're like, okay, yeah, that wasn't. I could maybe do another one of those once a year.
I could fuck with this, but like probably next month.
Exactly, like
when I rip this IV out of my veins.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like you're doing fucking whippets over there.
I have no idea what anything else is anymore. I've never tried Everclear.
Goose, having taken the drink and been close enough, you can now see through the light that the markings you see all across this person's like face and neck, and maybe even kind of going down to the shoulder somewhat, are scars. They are a network crossing of scars.
Goose gives them a look. It is not a judging look. It is a wow, that's fucking awesome.
Gives just a kind of wide, cocky smirk in the chest. Like, call me knife, kid. What's yours?
Goose.
You. How'd you get it?
Well, back in the academy, I let loose a couple of keys, labeled 1, 2, 4.
Get it.
Oh yeah, went to some military school back in the Commonwealth.
You a tanker? Aerospace pilot?
You can say tank. I'm on something right now.
I'm sure by the tanker, he's like term commonly here for like people who recruit tanks.
Ooh, okay.
Just be innocent and make the mistake.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm currently hauling some crap around. Well, no, float it.
Yeah, you look at tanker.
Oh, you mean like artillery? No.
Yeah. What was your crew? Ground pounder? Mechwarrior?
What would you say here?
Good question. What would you say here?
Sierra. Did Sierra tell us to keep a low profile?
Yeah.
Not quite ground pounder, not quite Mechwarrior, somewhere in between.
Interesting. You graduate?
No.
Huh. What are you doing now then?
Hauling scrap for the most part. Like I said, we're looking to offload.
He leans over. Funny as hell, no shit. I deal in scrap myself.
Really? Are you interested in buying a few bits and bobs?
Depends, I might be. What are you hauling? Any mech parts by chance?
I'll give the... What's it? One of the weapons that was loaded on the Wasp. We came across the... Sorry.
Either a medium laser or an SRM2. One of the two.
We came across a medium laser not too long ago, if you're interested in that.
Holy shit, a medium laser. Functional and still operational? Wires and all?
Well, we're doing some upkeep on it right now. Functional in due time.
Shit, man, you might just have a deal, but I'm curious. Fuck'd you find it? Place like this?
There is no equivalent insight check, is there?
I would call that just like there's a perception roll, which would be using your intellect skill, your intelligence skill. So
It's also streetwise.
also
I do not
streetwise.
have
I don't know streetwise.
I was gonna say streetwise sounds like the best. Can you stop accent thieving?
It happens. It's okay. It happens.
An 8 for an intelligence roll for... Is this guy on the up and up? Is he like a pirate in disguise? If I said that we aced some motherfucker out there, he'd be like, wait a minute, that's Greg.
Bruce, he seems
Not great.
particularly curious about where you came across this medium laser. Like he definitely perked up a little bit when you asked about that. I don't think it's too hard to tell what this guy's actual deal is. He just said he dealt him scrap, which could mean a lot of things, honestly. But he definitely does seem really curious about where you found that medium laser and if it was around here.
Nah, Goose is too dumb. Yeah, it was on planet. We found a bunch of scrap mechs out there. The only thing salvageable was that laser.
Shit. Weird. You wouldn't think mech fights would find themselves too common out here, except for, I don't know, pirates, craps, or random mercenaries.
I'd be pirates scrapping over territory. I hear that this place is having its share of problems.
Really? Who you hear that from?
Javier, no. Jericho.
Not a name I'm familiar with. Not exactly from around here.
He drove us in. I don't know if he's any of you folk or not.
Well, hard for me to say. Again, I ain't exactly, ain't important. Any case, hey, look. That medium lizard sounds pretty interesting. You might just have something on your hands, but you gotta talk to my folks first. Make sure they're all good with the trade first. You know, we ain't exactly rich right now, so we're making sure we're being careful with our trade, so to speak. But tell you what, you keep your folks around, find me back here, and I don't know, maybe a day or two. We can work something out.
Goose reaches over for a handshake.
He pulls out a hand that looks gnarled and covered in calluses and scars, and shakes it.
Nah, but seriously though, what can I get you that isn't a walking inferno in your stomach?
You get used to it after a while. Kind of, takes the edge off. I'm gonna head out though. I got errands to run.
Oh wait, I didn't get it. Oh wait, yeah, his name's Knives.
Would I be able to make some kind of check against the person Goose is talking to? My
I'll allow a perception check.
Okay, my question is more along the lines of, would Sierra be suspicious of this person getting up and leaving right after Goose has spoken to them?
Give me a perception or streetwise. I'll allow either one, if you have it.
Oh, hell yeah.
In the background, Goose has made his way back to the jukebox, put on Boot Scoot and Boogie, and is two-stepping over to Herta.
Perfect. Am I rolling 2d6s and then adding my bonus?
Mm-hmm. Adding your bonus to streetwise or perception or whatever you feel like appropriate here.
That's a 12.
That's not bad. Oh, I dropped a die. Let me pick it up and roll. Sierra, as you're getting a look at this guy here, as you're kind of watching him as he kind of gets up and steps away from Goose, he seems in a hurry, which is maybe curious. You can't really get much more of a read than that, but I'll give you he seems in a hurry.
I would like to. I have a tracking bug.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to, and I'll act it out, but I would like to do an exclamation and be like, I left something outside in the car with Jericho. Rush out, bump into him as I'm going, and try and tag him with this thing.
You have acting as a skill, yes?
I do.
Let's see it.
Okay.
Oof, that's not a great roll for me.
That's a 10.
Ooh. So, Sierra, you make a dramatic flare. Oh, I left something outside, and you go roll. As you move over, you bump into this Knives character you weren't necessarily talking to, and you do get behind you just a. Where the hell you going, lady?
I'm so sorry. I apologize so much. Do like the dusting off shoulders sort of thing. I just totally forgot that I left my field kit in the car. Don't worry about it. I'm so sorry. Continue. Scamper about.
Just make your way out, and you can safely know that you did absolutely plant the tracking bug on him, and he probably didn't notice it. He doesn't seem to be reacting as if anything was put on him at all.
Cool.
As you two move to exit, though, you kind of are making your way out to the car. You cut your eyes back for a bit, and just briefly, make eye contact.
With Knives?
Knives. And he doesn't, hold it. He keeps moving, obviously, but it's that thing of, when you turn around and someone was clearly looking at you for a bit, and you catch them just before they cut their eyes away. It's that.
Okay. Zero will come back into the bar after grabbing some whatever random item from out of there. She'll probably just be like, Jericho, I need to borrow this. Whatever the, tire tightening red shit or whatever. Puts in purse, walks back into bar,
Alrighty then. Well.
An air gauge for the tire.
For some reason, I'm thinking of one of those things where you have locks on your hubcaps so people can't steal your tires. That weird little right thing that you keep in your car so you can change your tires. Anyways.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yes. The tire iron as it is.
No, it's a different. It's like it doesn't matter. Anyways.
Sierra, you return. Hire you assisting tool of some kind in tow. You make your way back towards the table, and I assume if you want, you can all gather at that table you and River kind of made for the group if you'd like. You all can reassemble there and kind of, collect yourself as you will. The bar appears pretty stationary. Both Nairobi and Knives appear to have left. Marina is still kind of, hanging around, doing her own thing at the bar, and there's still groups hanging out watching the Solaris games and otherwise minding their business and enjoying their evening. It seems like you guys might have a bit of space to just chill and talk and collaborate as you will, and I'll leave you all to do that. But before we do that, friends, we are just shy of the hour-and-a-half mark, so let's take a moment for our mercenaries to refuel, defuel, plug into the supply line to get those reactors cooled down and those heat sinks cycled. Friends, take your own time to grab snacks, go to the bathroom as you need to, and we'll be right back here in just a few minutes. Take care.
Bye.
And we return to A Mercenary's Due. Welcome back, friends. I hope you had a good break, got yourselves charged back up and ready to get back in the field. We find our mercenaries in the aftermath of a little bit of downtime, some shore leave, if you will. They are stuck in a place, a bar with no name in a town only called Rust, in the middle of a shithole planet, so far from the inner sphere it barely even counts as it. Nonetheless, our four are gathered up, have themselves a little old time, and maybe had themselves some worthwhile and meaningful conversations. Stop babbling about it, let them fill you in, friends. The scene is yours.
Goose, what were you thinking?
What
were you thinking?
Boot Scootin' Boogie is probably in my top 3.
Okay. Well, alright. For future reference, don't be telling people that you're carrying millions of dollars worth of machinery.
Oh shit, that's what you meant.
Yeah,
at some point during that conversation, it felt like I fucked up.
It's okay, you can get away with it. You're very cute. So,
yeah.
Herta reaches over to pinch one of his cheeks.
Nah.
Nope. That's what you get for being dumb. Pinch.
Okay, well, all of that aside, children, I did put a tracker on that lovely friend that you made, Goose, and my suspicions would be that whether this man is an honest scrapper or a dishonest scrapper puts us in a situation of trouble. I can see where he is right now on my communicator, but who knows if he's going to be returning with friends.
Well, I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, you can't win every time.
It's okay, we forgive you 100%. We just have to figure out what our
plan is going forward.
Well, we know where the scrapyard is, right?
More
Well-
or less.
I think I spoke to the owner of said. God, I gotta stop talking to y'all. Your accent's infectious. Wash it out of my mouth.
River is laughing into their drink.
Goose slides some oil slick over to Herda.
Oh, no, thank you. That's I can smell that from here.
Oh, are you Russian now?
I'm trying to wash out the accent.
You should take it slowly if you're Russian.
I mean, this old slick will find whatever's going on in your mouth straight out.
Foxy just gave me a look
Interesting
like I'm
way to
about to take
phrase
100 damage.
Psychic damage from Psyche. Who knows?
Okay, refocus it. My question would be more. Okay. We don't want any interested parties going back towards the hangar and messing with Camilla and Yao and everybody. That seems like a problem, especially with our mechs being under repair currently. I know that Yao and Psyche can only work so fast. So, how do people feel about a scouting infiltration mission?
Well, we get Jericho to drive us out close enough. We can walk the rest of the way and see if there are any hills we could look in on the compound.
With the lady that you were speaking to, Herda, you said that she is more or less the owner, or originally the owner of this area. Do you think that she might know a back door or something?
She would, probably. But problem is she's in business talks right now, so can't quite shake her out of that, sounds like, but she's curious. More or less.
Did you get her
may or
number?
may not have spilled a little. Not everything. Just, she's suspicious.
River, will
With
you
reason.
remind me when we get back to the ship that I'm going to have a conversation with Herda and Goose about how to talk to suspicious outworlder individuals in bars?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Nairobi-
Thank you so much, Sam.
Nairobi wasn't suspicious. If anything else, she's pissed.
Okay, well, an enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine. Still, did you get her number?
More or less.
Oh, okay, good for you. Good, I'm glad for that. But, do you think she would be amenable to us moving a bit quicker on target?
Let me try.
Okay.
Herda's gonna pull open her own personal comms and see if, first of all, if Nairobi even established contact yet.
He has not.
Well, hopefully she don't ghost you.
Sure, shit, hope so, because she said she'd be in contact.
I mean,
So-
love hurts.
Well, it's been like 10 minutes.
It has been, and again, she did say she had to go talk with somebody.
I'm just teasing.
I know that I rush into things sometimes, but I'll be a little bit slower about
Sorry.
Herda, while this is happening, Herda just, swipes over to her message bar with Psyche and just goes, so anyways, how's... updates on Mechs, please? Por favor? Pizza? Sister!
Wait a minute, Herda, I thought you
For a
were...
while, you get several messages back rapidly. They're all single words. What did you do to that large laser?
Closes phone. I'll deal with that later. Also, Herta has multiple missions in action.
What did you do? No, it's more like, not my fault. The Shadowhawk, like, literally ran into me.
Not me. Not me.
Several single words replied. You let a Shadowhawk run into you?
Oh, Nechan, please. Oh my god. Just straight up switching to Draconis for just the briefest second.
It takes a while, but you get a one-word reply. Sorry, ... Too much time around Yao.
I feel like enough time around Yao would make anybody pissy. I'm sorry.
She doesn't seem to immediately reply. She's probably busy in the middle of a weld or something. So
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
keep
Outside of that, Herta just like closes the phone. So it is taking a while on the mix.
Okay. Well, my concern would be going in there guns blazing and them having home turf advantage. That would be a big problem. I know that I'm more used to working solo in these situations opposed to with a team, but regardless, my assumption would be that if they were able to have at least 4 mechs and 2 airships out in the field, that they aren't working with a small operation, because they wouldn't send that many out to scout if they didn't have extra bodies in store. So, ideally, we'd have more people on our side, and without that being able to be a possibility, I think that we have to consider infiltration and smoking them out, for lack of a better term.
I mean, if I can get my hands on some tech, I can probably hook something up and try and disable some of them mechs. And Goose will make a small boom motion with his hands.
I would exercise I'd exercise a wee bit of caution if we could. Just a wee. Nairobi said she had turrets set up because raids aren't, out here raids are a dime a dozen, sounds like. And she said that it was brutal. Like, those pirates came in and they cleaned out house. She lost a lot of good people. And a lot of decent tech, from the sounds of it. So, I don't think we're not dealing with any pirates.
Sure, but
Also, Em, you're muted, then.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not talk over you.
That's my bad. I said, the barkeep also said they have tanks. So, or so she heard.
yeah, rumors. But part of those rumors were things that we already came in contact with.
She did say
So,
there was a real big mech.
I wonder if they mean
Source was questionable. So hard to say if it's an assault or
It could have just been the Shadow
something else.
You wouldn't necessarily send your biggest gun out to go scouting, though.
No, I don't even know why they would have sent their mechs out in the first place, to be honest.
Big ball of fire falling from the sky, you'd want to send some guns out.
And if they took over Nairobi's place, sounds like she had enough area to be able to set up not only turrets, but probably sensors with those turrets. So, stands to reason, they probably sussed us out multiple ways.
Alright, well, I'm still of the mindset that we find the oldest of old folk in town. We learn about the secret passage that he used as a child to have fun with strategy or get out of work or whatever? There's always something like that in places like this.
Oh, I was about to say, did y'all find out some poor motherfucker's backstory while I was doing boot scoop boogie?
Couple.
I mean,
a little
Couple
bit.
backstories
Not
about this
exactly.
town.
I
Huh.
learned that Marina's family purchased this bar forever ago because her father lost an arm in a pirate attack? No, grandfather.
Grandmother.
Oh God, poor
Either
Pappy.
way, maybe she would be the best person to ask if there's any sort of curmudgeons that we could maybe speak to.
That or if
I've
your
been pretty-
girlfriend comes through
Hmm.
with Sugar Rocks.
We could also spin the knives thing.
In
He
what way?
did say that he'd be around for after a day or two with an offer. We could take it to try and infiltrate the base.
I think that was a lie, Goose.
Oh.
Goose, if he's connected to the people we just more or less smashed into nice tiny little itty bitty pieces.
Well, I'm
Hopefully
trying. I'm trying to
You-
be
You
productive.
doing-
Headpats.
I'm
You're
gonna
doing
go
your
speak
best.
to Marina. I'll be right back, alright, y'all?
Sounds good.
I will go get another drink and speak to Marina.
Absolutely, not a problem at all.
Okay.
You pass your way over, moving back towards the bar. Marina appears to be less busy now. The bar is definitely hitting maybe a bit of a slump period as it comes. So she'd be able to easily turn back over and just, back so soon?
Yeah, I'm a quick drinker, but I thought maybe that I would ask if you wanted to be treated to some nice drinks for a change.
Awful friendly offer. What's the occasion?
That this place might become a shooting range soon, and we'd prefer to make that not happen. I'm not threatening you
Gonna-
right away. Just to
I
be
don't know, she
sure.
leans in and just... So you saw him leaving too? With the scars?
Yeah, I'm assuming that he's not a regular.
Nope. In fact, got into town about a month ago.
Well, we were able to gather about that much, but considering that your family has been around these parts for such a long time, I was hoping to inquire if maybe there was somebody who had intimate knowledge of maybe some back doors that we might be able to access so we can deal with your rodent problem before it becomes a bigger issue.
You look some back channels into the scrapyard. I hate to say that I can't offer too much there. A worship yard was owned by a private individual. They get a pretty hefty penny for it. But if you're hoping to duck a few bullets, I can get you out of town through one of my old supply routes.
That would be lovely. My bigger question would be if you knew somebody that we might be able to talk to. If you don't, that's fine. We'll move on from here. But my hope would be that we don't have to do a full frontal assault.
I would see. Well, there are newcomers that have been around here. One of them's a lady, real cute type. Dark curly hair, little freckles on her face. Yeah, she was in not too long ago talking to one of your friends, I think, over there. She's-
Yeah. Nairobi?
You've got a name. She doesn't speak when she comes in, usually.
Oh, she must have a thing for pink-haired girls.
Yeah, it's strange. I can't say I've seen her around too frequently.
Is she legitimately the previous owner of the scrap heap before you had people move into town unceremoniously?
She say she was? Again, she don't talk much, and, well, no one's ever claimed that wreck ever since it went down, so...
Interesting. So, did she arrive about a month ago?
No, she was here a bit before that, I actually want to say. No, yeah, come to think of it, I've seen her around for it. There was a few times, twice actually, about a year or two ago. She came by.
Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll see if we can get some more information out there. Either way, I think I at least owe you a shot.
Who says, "It has been a day." It puts her 2 glasses down again and kind of grabs the same, like, sort of like the primary sort of alcohol that goes into your crystal range from earlier. She just kind of pours 2 glasses full of it, grabs one between 2 fingers, and just, "For your health."
Oh, and longevity.
She downs it quickly in the way someone practices with a bard would. And now she has a cute look where she does, where she, after downing it, she almost hits the bottom of the cup, sort of like while it's at her lip. It kind of just like goes up over her head. She catches it behind her back and then puts it back on the table.
Fancy.
I love fire drinks.
Give her a
Get
good
one for a
tip.
while.
Give her a good tip.
Oh,
That
I
was a
see
cool
good
trick.
and stuff. Yeah.
She goes,
Well,
"Mhm.
if I were
Please."
to be, don't want to tell you how to run your business or anything like that, but rumors say that maybe some unexpected and unfriendly guests will be arriving in about a day's time. I don't know if you want to put up precautions for some folk rolling into town, so to speak.
It's funnily, right after you say that, you hear a solid thud and a grunt of some kind, and the camera pans over to where the Solaris 7 view party is happening over. 2 people clearly had a bet that didn't go so well, and they have devolved into a brawl. And she goes, "Funny you say that. I was thinking about closing early."
Mm-hmm. I think it's probably a good idea. Do you know anything about a fellow named Jericho?
Driver comes in and out every now and then, runs a transit little car.
Mm-hmm. Trustworthy?
Yeah, good enough guy.
Okay. That's all I need. Okay, well, you give me a call if anything comes up and there's a problem that you need handling. I will hand over business card. I'm assuming it definitely has that, like, holographic quality where you shift it and it's Sierra just going like... like...
She takes it, gives a quick little chuckle, twirls it, and, again, slides it inside of her jacket.
Alright, we'll get out of your hair. Thank you so much for the lovely service.
You all keep your heads down. And if you're heading out, it turns out one of the fastest ways out happens to be, and she kind of points towards like a little bit of a side cutout. It kind of looks like it goes behind the bar. Dirt path going out that way. The lights cut out about halfway through, but if you keep on that path and keep your eyes straight, you get out of town without too many eyes on you. If you were, worried about that kind of thing.
Thank you so much for your patronage.
Happy to be of service. Let's hope I see you again. And in one piece.
Not too soon, but yes. Alrighty.
She waves you off, and you can make your way back to your friends.
I'll shuffle back to the group and tell you guys what I learned.
I do think,
Right.
as you return to the table, that River will comment on the fight that has started to break out over the bets that have potentially gone poorly. Do I understand correctly? Or
You're
just
pretty sure, River, from where you could see, kinda, there was definitely a duel happening on the screen between 2 Mechwarriors. Looked like one of them might have been like either looks like maybe like a Clint or maybe a Dervish. It had some missiles, so probably a Dervish up against something a bit smaller, like a Vindicator. It looks like. It seemed like it was a really well for the Dervish. Really good missiles on target until a really good PPC shot snatched the leg out from under it. That thing collapsed over, and then one more in the cockpit took it out. Someone in the bar yelled, "Propellant cheating dog," and then someone slugged them for it.
So River will make a side comment to Sierra, why you shouldn't wager too much, Folks get up in arms.
I got a better head on my shoulders than most folk.
Just reminding you.
I feel like Curtis is like watching to just go for the net, go for the net. Go for the net!
Alright, well, are any of y'all interested in skipping town real fast so we can reconvene with our crew and figure out a better plan of operation?
Yeah, Jericho's probably getting a little antsy. Too bad we can't get him a drink for the road.
I don't think giving him alcohol to drive a vehicle in an escape plan is the best idea.
Where's the
But
edge off?
They don't
The
serve.
real test of his skill, eh?
They don't serve soft drinks here.
do you think Jericho wants a soft drink?
Sugar Rush?
I mean,
Why
he's the
don't
one that
we-
recommended the oil slick, so.
Why don't we ask him and then move on from there? If anything, we can at least buy him some smokes.
Goose is on his third mug of water, trying to just recover from the oil slick.
One of my absolute favorite bits of world building is creating random specialty drinks for places. It's like a thing. It's a thing I do in almost every campaign that I run. I just I don't know. It's a personal touch. I love.
Wait,
I love
god
adding things.
damn it, Foxy. The specialty drink of Rush should have been the tetanus shot.
You know what? You're fucking right. Hang on, Dan. Move the cameras. RJ's DMing now. We're done here. I give up. Also, don't actually move the cameras, please, Dan. I love you.
No. I know nothing about Mechwarrior.
What? No, that just saves like another bar to have the tetanus shot as their specialty. That's why they're rivaling with Morena's bar. Duh.
True. You're adding lore for me,
It's a
friends. You're
big
adding lore for me.
planet.
Nonetheless, as you all, I assume, start to prepare to make your way out of that back door you all were informed of. That the game plan? What's the? Let's open it up here. What is the game plan, my loves?
I guess head back to the ship.
I think that would be a good idea because then we can like reconvene and actually figure out what the fuck to do in regards to knives. And I mean, the tracker's still tracking, so until it gets cut by whatever means necessary, I don't think we need to be too pressed to follow knives quite yet.
No, and we might be able to get some more valuable information out of our captive. Oop, dropped a dice.
And on top of that, it gives us time to wait for Nairobi to, you know,
Give you a
contact
call.
Kurto.
Yep.
Without jumping too far ahead.
So my thing would probably be to step out, speak to Jericho, essentially get him to leave town and meet us outside of town to take us back to the ship so we can take the exit.
All right, then.
Secret style.
Let's do it this way, friends. It's gonna be very simple. I'm gonna need everybody, and as everybody present here, to make me a cute little perception check, or it's gonna be it's awareness. I'll allow streetwise. I'll allow stealth. I'll allow something to add into how you are assisting and escaping. Whatever skill feels appropriate. Let me
I
know what you
literally
want to
have
roll it.
escape artist as a skill. Please, can I use this?
Oh, little escape artist here. You gotta know how to get out of somewhere unseen when you're pulling off your your escape artist trick. I'll allow it here. I'll absolutely allow it.
I got a 14.
Okay.
In,
Pink or
Streetwise.
blue dice?
Pink.
Okay. Well, what's split?
Fight
Fuck.
me.
One of each.
One of each.
You
One
know
of
what?
each.
One of each.
I have a 14 in perception.
Oh my god, friends.
If I don't have any rating in said skill, it's just my intelligence. Okay.
Yes, intelligence twice.
13
6,
total, because I roll, it's 2d6 plus my rating, or is it?
Yes, plus your rating.
So I rolled an 8, that's a 10, and then I have a bonus of 5. So it's 50?
So the bonus is included in your
The bonus,
rating.
yeah,
is
the bonus,
included
so,
in your bonus.
so it would be 8 plus 5 in total for 13.
Yeah.
You got it right. You're good.
Okay, so, but
Right
that's
here,
okay.
2 14s, a 13, and a
11 for Goose.
All right. So the way I'm just for the sake of mechanics, the way I treated this was I rolled this as a skill. For those who don't know Mechwarrior Destiny, every roll is a counter roll against the GM. I roll a set number of dice against them. Usually it's 2 for an easy one, 3 for average challenge, and 4 for a hard one. I rolled a hard challenge against you all, and the goal was to see how many of you could beat whatever number I rolled. I won't tell you the number of you who did yet, nor will I tell you the number that I rolled. Instead, let's hop into a little bit of narrative. So, you all make your way out the back. Marina kind of passes you a bit of a nod, subtly to not make it clear that she's putting eyes on you all as you're leaving. In fact, she immediately as she sees you all pass, she throws a nod and then kind of like immediately comes out from behind the bar and starts yelling at the 2 fighting patrons over there, just, hey, come here, pick it up, and just like, starts yelling out to whoever she can, and making a big scene so everyone turns to look at her and at them and not at you four as you all make your way out. Not any disturbance or issue or anybody seeming to keep their eyes on you for too long. And true to form, there are a set row of lights. It looks like it kind of lets out to a banking side path that connects with the main street, which is why you can see some kind of held up lumen posts that are kind of dangling from certain buildings. They're functional if flickering. You follow them out and you start immediately seeing yes, there's a dirt path you can kind of follow, as Marina told you, that kind of takes you immediately off that street where you can kind of curve around a very ovoid building. You cut in between two kind of cut out buildings made from the side plates of an aerodyne dropship, probably honestly a leopard of some kind. Looks like they took the mech bay doors off, kind of hung them like a roof almost, and then bolted on some side plates to count as walls and called that a house effectively. You slide between two of those that look like they're barely holding up in the current wind that's blowing. And just as you guys start kind of making your way and you recognize, okay, this is the part Marina mentioned where the lights give out and we need to make sure we're just keeping our eyes on the, on the road here. And it's getting late, so it's, sunlight's burning. And also that ash storm y'all kind of landing yourselves in is maybe a little bit close to rust at this point. So the air is getting a little heavy as you're moving. It's maybe difficult to keep your eyes open, but River, you've got your eyes kind of down on the road. You're kind of I imagine you have your hands somewhere near Sierra or maybe on her, kind of to make sure you're kind of focusing in. Sierra, you were told the path, so you're kind of already keeping your eyes up left and right, but also kind of keeping down here. Herda, you're kind of, I imagine, if you will, picking up the rear, kind of keeping your eyes behind everyone, making sure there's no one following you, no traces that you have a very obvious path out of here without being traced or followed. And Goose, I imagine you're kind of again just general eyes around, waiting to be not be surprised, maybe hand near a weapon, just kind of keeping yourself ready as you all kind of skulk forward, very cartoon and villain group wise, through the darkened path. And it starts to feel like it's taking a while. You're pretty sure you're still on the path. Rust isn't that big of a scrap heap of a town. It's not that large to circumnavigate. Even if you were literally going around the back to the outside of town and taking around, taking a bit. And as you're slowly moving further outwards, kind of circling around the edge of the town, there's I'd say maybe like a solid range bracket that you keep for that tracking bug. It doesn't give out. Sierra, your tracking bug is still active, but it's flickering. You're hitting the edges of the range as you're creeping around the town. Thankfully, as you all are doing so, you round a corner around another building, sort of built out, sort of almost carved into a high hill made of some, rebar and scrap metal. You come around the corner, and you see headlights.
Do they look like Jericho's headlights?
Close enough.
Approach, but have my hand on my stun stick.
Rest of you following up, or are you just hanging back?
Oh, this entire time.
I'm with my wife, of course.
Goose has had his auto pistol out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Herda reaches up and just gently starts guiding it down.
For the way that you said that, RJ, it made me think that he's doing fingers like gut out, and he's doing Kronk from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh my God, That's totally playing in Goose's head.
Goose, you kind of again, Sierra, River, you're approaching, keeping close as you're slowly approaching this place, keeping your eyes left and right. There's still, a couple of buildings around that someone could maybe come out of a corner, jump you out of. You're moving forward. Goose, you slide forward. Auto pistol ready. Dun, 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 dun. Come up to the side of the vehicle. You hear a hey, down with that kid, from a thankfully familiar voice. That is, yes, Jericho.
Oh.
I feel like at this point, this is where Herda puts down, just starts guiding the gun, guiding Goose's gun down, just easy there.
Ah, Jericho. We need to get you a bell or something. You're gonna get shot like that.
I need to read this
Didn't
comment.
they teach you trigger
He's still
control?
drunk.
Academy?
I don't think his academy was fancy enough to do that.
Oh, the entire time it is proper trigger discipline from Goose. His finger is nowhere
okay.
near the trigger.
Good.
He hasn't even racked the fucking thing yet.
Good.
Hey Jericho, would you mind getting us back to the ship lickety split?
Yeah, it sounds like y'all just are at the tail end of avoiding whatever trouble y'all are trying to get into. Quick evac?
Yeah, I would also suggest that maybe you don't hang out in the main part of town sometime tomorrow during midday. High noon, if you will.
Huh. Noted.
Okay.
Not asking questions about that.
Sounds good.
Get in, please.
Smart man. All right. Fine.
Sierra feels a tug on their sleeve from Goose. Should we ask Jericho about knives to see if he knows anything about them?
You want to? I feel like you want to share that first inquiry earlier, but I don't think it can hurt.
How about we do that in the car, folks? As Herta's already jumped in.
Goose will slide into the passenger seat next to Jericho.
Yes. Leave all the dialogue.
Right up front. Yes. That's total cab. That's proper cab etiquette. You right up front with the driver.
Sometimes there's no space in the back.
No space.
River is sitting like this. Why does
wide.
that's possible?
Full on dad mode and it's spreading.
Man's
Get
spreading like
moving.
crazy.
Hell yeah. Love it. All right, friends. You pile in, start making your way back towards the last trip home. Your lovely little Dun Ice class dropship you've refit to make your home, although it's a bit damaged right now. And the trip is a good, 20 or 30 minutes. It was about 20 or 30 minutes to get here from where you left the ship, so it's going to be a bit of a trip, obviously. And it's also significantly darker. And so as you're making this trip, Sierra, it's maybe about 5 or so minutes out that tracker blip finally goes out. You've fully left range, which means odds are Knives wasn't moving originally. You managed to make your movements. And I'm gonna keep things real simple for you, friends. It is a safe trip home. I know I held tension there for a long trip, but I'm gonna just keep it real simple. It's a safe 30-minute trip home. You spend a nice quiet ride. Jericho doesn't really say anything unless you otherwise poke or prod him for information or conversation. But he drives you all back to your last trip home, or at least drives you to right out, sort of outside of the crest of the hill where you all kind of nestled your ship against when you landed in very strong air quotes.
Does Jericho know anything about knives?
I will keep that simple for you. No.
Cool beans.
Don't let Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let Lane hear you say that.
Listen. She knows what she did.
Lane did her best, okay?
What she did, that was kind of out of her control.
Lane did her best with the equipment she had on hand.
And the fact that we were flying into an ash storm, she
Poor
got
girl.
us there safely. Poor
She did wonderful.
Herta's
Poor
defensive
Lane.
of the people she has feelings for.
So, friends, I'll say fully, if you were curious about whether or not you avoided the personal scale combat, we'll get there. Don't worry about it.
Damn.
But I know I baited. I know.
The bait!
Baited you again. I know. Baited you again. Don't worry. It's fine. We'll get there. Don't worry.
How
We're fine.
dare you?
Nonetheless, as you all return to an open bay door to your dropship, slowly sliding down on a long sort of hangar that descends from the side of your oboe dropship. I lost my hangar door. As the hangar door descends and opens, to allow you all once more passage back into your home away from home, your little egg-shaped chariot to the stars. What's the plan, friends? Anything you want to engage in or do right now?
Talk to the crew about what's happening, people who need to be appraised of that,
Oh yeah, we probably should let Camilla know about all the shit we found.
Oh yeah, she's waiting for you all on the bridge already. Don't worry.
yeah.
Cool.
And then I think just coming up with a plan as to how we want to handle getting in to this pirate base. If we can drop it out, especially because
That is still a good idea. I have one question. I don't want to be annoying about this part. Has the Ruby
Yeah.
checked in yet?
No, she has not.
Foxy has a counter on their computer, just be like,
I'm waiting.
How many times has Rainy asked? How many times has Rainy checked?
Parrot, don't you worry, we'll get there. I'm gonna keep baiting
Give me
you
the
until
parrot,
time.
damn it!
Listen. We'll get there. You all made your choices. Don't worry.
I think probably Camilla's the best person to talk to. Tell her about the tracking bug that I put on the dude,
It's out of range. I don't know if they can amplify that from the ship, if they have tech for that. But if we
And on this little
circle
boat.
in closer.
I will once again show her face. I like showing off how pretty she is. So we cut to a sort of we cycle down into the busy command bridge of the last trip home. There are a couple of bridge officers busying themselves with maintenance routines for keeping power cycling through the coolant vents and the fusion reactor of the ship as it stays half idle in power while to maintain it, make sure you can still fuel all your Battlemechs and otherwise keep life support and the heat on because it's fucking cold on this planet. And as you all cycle through, we center in on your Stratcom HQ bridge, which, by the way, I didn't put you guys on the Stratcom bridge. Sorry about that, friend.
Stratcom bridge, Stratcom.
Put you back on the Stratcom bridge, of course. Camilla faces you all and just, well, glad you avoided the mess at least.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I did make a promise to you before we left.
Fair enough. Nonetheless, we've certainly gathered a bit of interesting intel. We know who these pirates are. The name Grizzlys doesn't rank in my database just yet, but I'll search again, check the MRCB boards or any notable bounties in local systems to see if I can't place a name. Maybe get some more information. I have, speaking of which, been talking to our guest.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Do you need assistance on that front?
Oh, no. He was surprisingly chatty once we got him all comfortable on the bridge and patched up.
Oh, good.
Real quickly, Sierra's gonna send a message to Yao to be like, you should talk to the driver outside about random shit, but it's just setting him up to talk to Jericho.
Are we setting Yao up
Yeah!
with a boyfriend?
Yeah!
Every
Oh
time.
my god, we're giving him the car guy.
God.
Hey, I promised Jericho that we would consider him for employment if he got us back here, and I lost a card game to Yao, so I can get 2 birds with 1 stone.
I don't think that's included in losing to Yao, but okay.
He doesn't
Hey,
know
listen,
that,
we'll get
but
there.
it is.
We'll get there, all right?
Okay.
Okay. Yao does not respond to your message immediately. You wager he's probably somewhere in the mech bay looking at his communicator and groaning. But nonetheless, he says, well, he didn't give a name for his outfit, but I can place the Grizzlies somewhere, probably if I need to. He did give a bit of his story, though.
Oh, okay.
Turns out his outfit has hit this planet a couple of times over the last decade or two. Usually just scrap runs or occasional raiding parties here or there. Then they were suddenly approached by a strange benefactor who offered them a surprising amount of money and materiel. In exchange, all they had to do was land on the planet, secure at least one major facility, and kill any local administrators.
Did he say anything about who this benefactor was, male, female?
The name he gave clearly implied they worked through a proxy company, but I smell a great house.
Always great
Specifically against the Lao state, you would suggest?
She says, and if they're into Liel, well, all right, place your bets now, kids. Karita, Davian, Merrick.
I'd say Merrick.
I was gonna say Merrick. All right, Davian.
2 for Merrick, 1 for Davian.
Okay. First of all, I'm gonna put this out as plainly as possible. Merrick wouldn't do this bullshit. We are so into each other's own throats out there that pulling this sideline bullshit of, getting involved with a
It could be
proxy
someone from a
company.
lesser house of a greater house, like one of those minor noble sort of dealies.
But also,
Yeah, Merrick doesn't
there's
have
no-
one of those. We're all kind of a democratic thing. The only reason why we're still called House Merrick is because House Merrick founded us with Purple Eagle freedom,
Eagles.
y'all.
Just
But I'm not
reminder,
my money's on
guys,
Karita.
Just as a reminder, Huda, there are no actual fights going on right now, so...
Oh, I'm just saying, we're too busy with our own bullshit internally to be picking fights with each other. That half the dang time us doing a whole, House Merrick doing a whole sneaky thing really isn't House Merrick's thing. Again, we're the Purple Eagle. We're
It's
loud and out
almost
there.
a whisper, like
Still.
it's almost a mutter, but like a snide comment from Goose. It's, everyone has their hobbies.
Yeah, we got a shit one. But it's our hobby nonetheless.
Personally, it's only our internal conflict. We know House Fun was helping us out personally, but who's to say some other miner's house or even House Liao themselves isn't, well, pulling the card. Ain't really our business regardless.
I can't say that I really care who, as long as it's not somebody that we've met face to face locally in town that we have to be worried about.
Can't argue with that. Speaking of, there's the matter of this infiltration plan. The rest of you approve of this? Kind of looks around from the rest of you.
Well, what would you suggest?
It's not the dumbest idea you've all had. I'll certainly give you that.
Oh, thank you, Camilla.
Those are
Soaring
my
praise.
specialty.
Listen, far from me to call any of you a tactician. We lost that one not too long ago. Nonetheless, it's a two-edged sword. On one hand, if we approach them on foot, we catch them unsurprised. They're probably expecting Battlemechs given they saw a dropship come down. However, that doesn't stop them from having Battlemechs. And unlike us, fair and noble mercenaries, pirates aren't bound by any conventions, Ares or otherwise. And I don't want to see what any of you look like taking a medium laser in the face.
Well, we do have an inn on the junkyard. Hopefully, someone gets patched through that could help us get in through the back. And if we have enough ordnance for it in the armory, maybe we can rig a couple grenades to some ammo racks and some of those mechs and KO them.
Also, there's always the
Wouldn't know what's
question
on
of
days.
how. There's also always the question of how these pirates live in a scrap heap feed themselves. There always has to be something coming in and out of places like that, right?
Certainly can't argue with that, I suppose. I still
Totally.
can't promise I feel too confident about it. You all are certainly much more well protected when you're encased in ferrofibrous armor. That's not ferrofibrous. When you're encased in armor and surrounded by my armor.
There was
Oh,
another
oh.
thing. Sierra suggested that we draw out these mechs. Do we have a planetary scan? Anything within a couple mile radius? I'm looking for choke points.
Lynn did a quick one when we were landing to try and figure out where we could actually be, but the storm kind of obscured a lot of it. Has it settled down at all?
From the bridge, you hear "pulling up now," and then you see Lane reach up from the bridge deck and push a button, and the stratcom lights up with a planetary scan. It covers just about the whole of the planet, mostly. It's not a very big planetoid, so you can pretty much see all the major settlements, larger scrapyards. Yeah,
And
it's all there.
I make a tactics roll to see where are places where it'd be advantageous for us to fight.
Absolutely.
Is there like a help system for people rolling?
Oh, don't worry. I'm about to surprise you all.
I was gonna say, let River be tactic brain. Tactic brain, River.
What you got for
I
me,
want old man.
Goose got double sixes with a 3. That's 19. Or no, 12, 15. Whoops.
Threw me out of the fucking water, boss. Okay,
Go
sure, yeah.
fucking ghost!
My schooling has come in helpful.
Goose, you're leaning in real close to, like, you see the area of the scrap heap marked as the pirate base. You're looking at the mountainous terrain around it and the way it's kind of settled into a mountain, it's a hill, and the approach to it. And damn, you're realizing why they picked this scrapyard amongst all the other ones, most likely. It's really well settled into the mountainside that it's in. There really isn't a good way in there, unfortunately.
Like motherfucking Helm's Deep up in this bitch.
What's that?
Old what?
Oh, it's this
quoting the
really
classics
old
again?
movie called
You're quoting the
Lord of the
classics again?
Rings.
Oh god.
Oh wait, I actually do know that IRL.
You didn't realize? Okay. You didn't realize it helps team
Y'all
was
are
Lord of the
killing me.
Rings.
Sorry.
No, I just forgot what it was called.
Give M the grace, please. It took me a second to remember Helm's Deep was a Helm's Deep. Give me a second. Just give M a second, because it took me a bit to be like, Helm's Deep. Oh, that's right. That Helm's Deep. Anyway.
I guess it's just
Helm's
the
Deep,
reason my
right.
family got a DVD player when I was a child is because so we could watch Lord of the Rings. So
Oh,
Rings
shit.
is-
That's
I haven't
my,
seen it in
like-
ages. That's why I was just like, hold on, wait, brain buffer.
I only watched it for the
I
first
get-
time like 2 years ago. But yes.
Can I
Fox.
bring us back into character with two
Sorry.
things here? One,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. You're fine. You're all fine. You're all fine. Goose. Can you give me that same roll one more time? Don't worry, this is not gonna like ruin you if you don't roll great here. This is just gonna add on some stuff here. River, can you also follow up with tactics rolls?
Yes, sir. I gotta see what my addition is.
I don't know if tracking is useful, but it's probably not, right?
It's not as useful in this case.
Got a 6, a 5, that's an 11 plus 7, so that's 18.
Jesus.
Alright.
I've got double 4s, which is an 8 plus 3, 11.
All right, perfect. Well done, friends. So Goose, yeah, it's like you called it. It's a fortress. Natural barriers. There's only really a couple of choke point positions to kind of draw you into. There is thankfully a bit of an open valley just outside of the base, which you wager that's meant to be a killing field. So you figure, okay, yeah, obviously they don't want us to. They don't want.
I can assume
they
that
want us to fight them
is
right
within
there.
range too.
However, River, this is kind of where you get a good look at this as you're kind of looking at it and thinking like, oh yeah, no, absolutely, of course there's there's a killing field in front of you, and turrets would be able to shoot that place, but that's why we probably put turrets up there. But you all remember, I assume her to inform you, Nairobi said the turrets didn't survive the pirates' first attack. And River, you're looking at this like just the way this place is up. A powerful enough reactor to power like a full turret grid, if it was online, that would be the kind of thing that would pick up on a heat scan of the planet, and it's not. There probably aren't any powered functional turrets anywhere near that base. That killing field is a killing field for whoever you can draw out into it. Meaning if you really want to draw them out, well, the best thing you want to do is, I hate to say it, not literally fight, like just charge the front. But if you hit them hard enough from the front, they can't just hug the walls and keep you guys out. They have to come out and face you. You all don't think you have enough firepower for that. River, you literally made a career of defending garrisons for your life before you were a mercenary. You know what it takes to push through a wall if it's defended by, you assume, a couple of mechs, at least one, maybe a heavy, maybe an assault, you don't know. You guys got a couple of mediums and one heavy. You need at least one other decently sized hitter in order for you to really punch through that. Sure would be great if the captain was around.
I mean, we're gonna be saying that for years, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hasn't it
Hate
been?
to cut off it's been months.
Yeah.
Hate to cut off what could be a sad and reclusive moment to think about some things. But Sierra, your communicator beeps. Your tracker just came in range.
Uh-oh, they approaching.
I'm fast.
Oh shit.
As in, they're probably in some vehicles.
I will tell Jericho, text Jericho, text Yao to tell Jericho to leave.
I mean, just
We don't need civilian.
that your friends?
More like gooses, but yeah.
Fucking hell. Lane, weapon systems? Well, half of our power reactors cycled towards keeping us stable in this vision we're in, so I'd say most of our forward and aft arcs are going to be down. Could probably pull a couple of medium lasers online if you give me a couple of minutes. We don't have a couple of minutes.
I can help you with it if you
Is it small vehicles, big vehicles?
can't really tell.
Hard to tell.
Say-
You only have the single blip.
So, Yao and Psyche, how far did you guys get along with those repairs?
If you tap on it, just good question. Mech Bay, what are we looking at on repairs? Psyche just Yao's on his way back in. Well, the Vulcan could probably be combat ready. Shadowhawk's mostly fine, and the Warhammer's still stripped of a few armor plates. The Wolverine's gonna need a little bit more work. She's capable, but the large laser's still offline.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the Shadowhawk, I don't think.
All right, you want to suit up?
Ooh, I would like to know if me helping, beep boop bop bop, checking language. If me helping Lane with aerospace stuff, because I have gunnery and aerospace, so I don't know if it would be more helpful to use potentially our like ship weapons as well, and then maybe Herta could pilot my mech.
It's an option, absolutely. Shadowhawk and the Wolverine have comfortable enough, similar enough to pro consoles. They could definitely be swapped out if you need to. It could take a little bit of getting used to the control scheme, you know, little shuffle around, obviously on her part, but I'm sure you'd be fine. If you
Gotta
want to
set
do
the
that,
key
that's certainly an option you
bindings.
can take.
Does our ship have enough firepower for that to be a viable option?
That's tough to say. If you're hearing what Lane's saying, you can't get most of your ship's firepower online right now. A couple of medium lasers are still a few more medium lasers than you have if you don't have your ship weapons online. So it obviously would definitely help, especially if they're not bringing mechs right now. But it's not going to be the difference maker. It's going to definitely help. It's definitely not a bad support ad to have out there. But
Yeah. But Herda's mech doesn't have a weapon right now, essentially, right?
it has weapons, just not its main weapon.
Yeah.
Do you have gunnery, Herda?
I have gunnery in Battlemech, and piloting in Battlemech. I thought that would be much more useful for the Alpha Strike side of stuff. My bad.
Totally, yeah, no, valid. So, it sounds like the plan is to then do that, to have Herda hop in Sierra Shadowhawk, have the rest of you two suit up and get ready, and to have Sierra stay with Lane and Camilla on board and on the bridge and work on getting weapons online.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess
Right.
if keep Yao and Psyche on repair duties, and
board.
if they can bring anything up while we're in combat potentially, then you would have to trust me with your mech. But
You hear Yao come up and just, I'm here. I brought Jericho inside in case it got messy. I'll get back to work on the Wolverine in a second. Just catch my breath. Been
no
old for
problem.
running.
Jericho, how good are you with lasers?
I've never shot a laser.
Okay, don't worry about it then. You can sit pretty.
Yeah, take a break. Psych. You know how you know Wolverine just as good as I do from working with Ma and Pa.
Get a replacement barrel ready right now. This is what I do. I got this.
Don't hurt my baby, Herda.
There is a.
I'll be extra careful. Oh, by the way, since I can't do this for Psyche, you just watch Herda just like sort of take off the jacket that she had pulled from her go bag from Wolverine, and just toss it over to Sierra. Since I'm borrowing your ride for a bit.
Alright, if anything comes up on running, I'm taking the Wolverine out, so just so you know.
Just do be careful with her.
Of course.
Right.
I'll lean over and give River a little kiss on the cheek. Just be like, no, be careful with my other baby too, alright?
Always.
And
Goose,
I'll
anything
ruffle
from you?
Goose's hair.
Goose puts a hand on Jericho's shoulder and just says, Yao's room's over that way.
All of us are like, most important part of this mission.
Both of them blush and look away.
God,
friends-
Yao, you're not old. Like, you're too old for being blush bride. Damn.
So,
Fucking hell,
let's keep this real simple. It's going to be easy checks here, but I need it from each of you who are getting in your mechs. Piloting checks to make sure you can get out and comfortable in your mechs in enough time before these guys are approaching, as they are approaching rapidly. So, piloting checks from all of my friends. I'm going to roll one number. You all just got to beat it. It's very simple. Cool.
Am I
Roll
doing that for getting weapons online on the ships, essentially?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm rolling separately against you, but yes, go for it.
I have a 13.
And I rolled also not great.
14.
Okay.
You're pink and a blue. That is a 6 plus. Oh shit.
I got a 10.
I got a 9.
All right. So, Bruce, your Vulcan is the easiest to get out of there. It's only a 40 tonner. It was only on some repair crates and getting armor plating replaced. You didn't have any critical damage.
No,
in
it was 6.
lap mission.
Sorry, I misread. It was a 12.
You're fine.
It's 6 plus 6.
That's fine. Okay, cool. Thank you. No, that actually helps you. Goose, you make it out with no problem. Clamps drop your neck down as it puts soft thud as your 40-ton neck slams down onto the bottom of the neck bay, and you are immediately able to kind of take off at a nice loping stride out of the, making your way out of the bay. River, you're not far behind, though it does take a little bit more time for you to kind of get unclamped from you, to get your massive warhammer unclamped. You take a single step, thuds down onto the ground, everything shakes, and you now get the watch the football. You storm your way out behind without too much trouble. Sorry, looking for my mech deploy sound. There it is. Perfect. Perda, you are fat into this Shadowhawk, and you kind of, it's a bit of an uncomfortable to get to adjust stuff a little bit. The control scheme's mostly okay. The power is in a different spot.
There's like fuzzy dice everywhere.
Everywhere. The motive actuator button is over where you're used to your main, you're used to your SRM trigger being at, so it's weird to press that while you're still in the hangar and your weapons aren't online. And eventually you're like, okay, all right, I got this. And eventually you do hear a reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nom, and then you hear a as the crane hook that the Shadow attached to heaves up and doesn't let go of the mech that is currently clamped to.
Psyche! Sister! I can't get out!
She is like, okay, Yao, lift crane! And she runs over to like the lift crane and hops over it as Yao is like, you're a mad woman. Slams the ascent, it shoots its way up, and Psyche literally leaps from the moving lift crane onto the hook holding the Shadowhawk. And it's like, just a second, give me a moment, I got this. Make me one more piloting roll. And also, pick a plot point. Sierra, take one too, as I think the idea of you two swapping out mechs for this combat is really cool.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
What you got?
That's a 10.
You beat a 7.
Thank God.
Are we?
Because I rolled a 4.
Points?
One more time?
Are we playing with points?
Yes, you can use your edge to reroll if you need to. Yes, you have
Okay.
you have an edge amount of rerolls if you would like.
Yeah, that's the I have like 2 edge, I think, because I didn't no 1 edge because I never booted it up because I wasn't sure.
Cost more points. So, Perda, you are working at this crane, trying to jostle it without literally throwing your sister to the ground in a admittedly messy puddle if she hits the ground. And so it's difficult for you to kind of keep your shoulder at roller moving in a mech that you are not used to moving in. This is a very harrowing moment for you, right? And it's getting very, very sort of, I would think, even a little bit, I'd say, tense for you all as I play my mystery 10th music. It's been a little bit difficult for you all. But finally, as Psyche just says, oh, Blake's teeth, and brings her like whole, like, people's elbow down as hard as she can and smacks the crane, and it finally jostles enough that your shoulder rolls and it finally gives, and the Shadowhawk you are piloting is let free, and you are set to deploy with Psyche literally hanging off to the side, just like, I'm good, go!
Yeah, because Herta would have definitely waited to hear at least that I'm good before she's out there.
Meanwhile, up on the bridge, Sierra, you slide in next to a bridge console next to Lane, and you are all frantically pressing buttons, just, okay, we can't draw from life support or our storage tanks. We still have the Wolverine Titans, so we can't draw from the reserve power line power mechs right now. I can maybe draw away from the rec room for a while, and if no one's in the kitchen, I can power that down and just, Sierra, you powered on mech cubicles 1, 2, and 3 for a while. We can keep 4 online with the Wolverine still docked in.
On it, I can do as much as you want.
And it starts, power starts moving and cycling, just, okay, bringing left aft systems online. Okay, I think we've got at least 5 functional lasers. Let's hope they don't have anything more than that.
We don't have 5 functional people working those lasers, so don't worry too much about it.
I'll try to auto-target them as best as I can, but I wouldn't hope for much.
Don't worry. We got this, all right? We got this.
You take a gander down, looking through, sort of like, down at your personal communicator, seeing that the blip is rapidly approaching. You look out of the brief viewport and see your 3 mech-armed friends finally stomping their way outside of the bay, down the hangar, and making their way outside. As the hangar bay door slowly closes up, just in case you're about to see combat. Camilla, bridge, prepare for close quarters combat. All hands to ready stations. Keep yourselves clean, people. We don't know what's coming to us.
Yes, ma'am.
Camilla, can you make sure that scoundrel we have in the extra room is tied up manually in case we have to pull more power?
Got the spaceman keep an eye on them. Don't worry, they're armed.
All right.
And it's as you say that, you look down, and you all who are outside, you kind of see it. It's far in the distance, very, very far, kind of cresting the horizon. Sierra, you don't see it because of the angle of the viewport and where you can see at. You all would swear, in the distance, you hear a quartet of explosions. Sierra, the tracking bug goes offline.
Ooh, maybe your girlfriend came through, Herda.
Something begins cresting the horizon. It is clearly humanoid and massive, given that you can already see its head as it crests the horizon. It's not colored in the same way anything else you guys have seen. Instead, as it begins to slowly lop and stride towards you two, you can see it's clearly a mech. And I would say, why don't you go ahead and tell me, which of you recognizes this mech? Just go ahead and tell me who.
Oh, I bet River.
Sure, River.
River.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm pointing to River.
River,
Old man.
You're a member of River. You literally fought for the military forces of House. Yeah, you were part of the CCAF for a while. You've absolutely seen plenty of these things. In fact, plenty of this variant of thing. You can even see by the difference in the LRM tube and the difference in the way equipment is set up. You not only know the mech, you can tell the variant. As slowly approaching you is an unidentified and unknown Crusader CRD 3D. 65-ton mech equipped for long-range missile fire support. It's walking towards you, one hand beside it, swaying at its depths. The other is, well, actually, sorry, excuse me. Both hands are up towards its chest. It's still approaching you all. Just has its hands at its chest. You can't really see it. It's getting closer, so you can probably see what it is, what's happening soon. But it's not close enough so you can fully see what's going on. It just looked like it had its arms up, fully holding both hands toward its chest at the moment.
Over comms, Goose just goes, "You think we should hail him?"
Hail.
I would recommend it.
Also,
Doesn't
these
look like it's
Rhinox
fighting.
look like motherfucker Transformers.
Hey, it's my favorite mech, thank you. Excuse
He
me.
looks like Rhinox from Transformers.
River, you know these things better than us. What's your take?
Well, let's hail, because I don't know what the fuck that sound was.
I don't like any of this. You want me
As the
to?
Crusader crests the hill, you open your comm line. It takes a moment, but a voice does respond. Hail, Mechwarriors.
Ye be
Hail
friend or
and well
foe?
met.
He steps forward, and you can see that literally still wedged in between like the toe unit of his neck appears to be like a massive, like a truck, an APC of some kind, literally bent in half and still smoking. He stops. I encountered these, shakes it so the APC drops to the ground. Vagrants inbound towards your location. They would not answer IFF concerns unless I considered them hostile.
Wait, out of character, what is IFF again?
It's your tag that says like whether you're friend or foe. It's like your tag. It's your tag.
Oh,
on the
okay.
That's how we recognize the pirate units from first episode and why we went into attack, because they blinked red, hostile, on our sensors. By the way, IFF color, what does that look like on the Shadowhawk screen with our commander approaching us?
Yellow.
Hard icon over the head.
So yellow is unsure?
No.
Or no?
Where do you stand on that chart?
He approaches. He kind of he's still stepping towards you. That will be explained shortly, if you will allow me to approach.
Of course. Are you gonna leave the cockpit? We can send a driver out to you.
I will keep my Battlemech with me, thank you. but will leave the cockpit when I'm at an appropriate vector.
Okay, as long as you're comfortable with weapons being fixed on you just in case for any funny business.
You will note that my targeting computer is not tracking any of you currently.
Okay.
And yeah, true to
I-
form, none of you have any target locks on you.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Is there a
you're,
way
like-
to change your IFF color on someone else's screen? Just like show good faith, Goose just goes green for the pilot.
It's effectively, you can sort of broadcast an attempted sort of like clear IFF code that they can approve or deny. It holds for a while, Goose. You're kind of held on that hold for a little while. And if you want, you all can sort of, if you train weapons on him, target him, he doesn't seem to stop or, react to that at all. But as he finally gets close, the Crusader lurches, drops, and takes a knee. And, well, its hands begin to open, but as its hands open, the head splits, the horn reeling back, and a man stands up, mask-coated, clearly built and well-trained, and from the scars on his face, clearly someone who has seen combat. I am Braden Zell, Davian Mercenary. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
What's up? He looks like he's from Beyblade, I dig it.
Oh my god, he's hot. Look at that face. Ah! But yeah, definitely from Beyblade. He's a Beyblade adult. Damn it.
Yeah, anybody, any responses to him immediately?
He said he was with House Davia?
How sad.
And what brings you out this way?
He folds his arms and inclines his head downward. My employer. And as the Crusader's hand opens, well, a familiar face steps out. Brown skin, freckled, and curly haired.
You're girly.
Oh,
it's her
girly.
brother. You're gonna have a thing for both of them.
No, the employer. Not her brother.
Employ your siblings.
You could also deploy your siblings in Mechwarrior.
The woman steps forward and just, hello. Fancy meeting you all out here.
I like to imagine poor like Herta's like just consistently behind the ball on all this shit is because she's still trying to figure out how to drive the goddamn Shadowhawk, and it's just like, Sierra, we are going to have a fucking talk about how you outlay your where is a button? How do I get out of this damn thing?
I'll come down to
Clearly her comms are cut off, like not on, because Herta doesn't know how to turn on her comms in here.
Sierra will come down to the loading bay,
Sierra, in fact, you find, as everyone's curious, a good chunk of the bridge crew actually makes their way down. Lane, Camilla, Yao even pokes his head out from the mech bay, kind of sort of taking a look. Jericho's even not too far behind, though he has no idea what the fuck is going on at this point.
There's another hottie looking for you, yeah.
True. I'll stop the mech walking sound because there's no more mechs walking, by the way. Oh, you know what? I have the song. I have the song for this perfectly, actually. The woman you met in the bar steps forward and just says, "Fortunately, I happen to be making my way following a certain vehicle. I saw some friends. I saw some people leaving out of. Wasn't certain it was you, but I had my thoughts. And when I caught those random pirates trailing after you, well, I figured I'd have my friend intervene."
Much
We
appreciated.
appreciate it.
Shame I couldn't use my missiles at all.
Oh, well, you might get a chance if you are willing to have a conversation with us.
Indeed. There are plans to attack the base those pirates have held up. It will be a glorious victory for House Davian.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's one of those kinds.
Well, why don't we have a conversation and then we can decide all glory and victory and all that in a second.
Couldn't agree more, the woman says again. Oh, as a certain cutie over there happened to mention in the bar, if we're going to talk business, we should probably be frank. And I should admit that I haven't quite been honest with all of you.
Oh, what a surprise.
If you hadn't figured out, no, I don't actually own that scrapyard over there.
Okay.
But it is a bit of interest to me, I should say. Well, not necessarily the scrapyard itself, but what it actually is.
And who's saying it?
Well, I arrived here on the system approximately 11 or 12 months ago. Hard to tell in a place like this. We were mostly here on a hunch. There were whispers, rumors, a couple of whispers picked up by traveling merchants and mercenaries, but we were certainly too curious to check it out. I had almost confirmed what I was looking for, specifically, even though I'd already found so much. And then all of a sudden, a random group of pirates show up and start spoiling what would have amounted to months of work. You can imagine, I was upset. Thus, when an enterprising group of mercenaries shows up in system and starts asking questions about the pirates who have squatted on this place, I saw a business opportunity. So then, the first truth. My name is not Nairobi Jala. In truth, I am Jayla Amour, a field scientist with the New Avalon Institute of Science. How's that? You all know the NAIS is the premier science institute across the entirety of the inner sphere. They are the breaking edge of maintaining what remains technological advantage anywhere in the inner sphere, and, well, they're a big fucking deal, it turns out. You also know you're here on orders from House Liao, who aren't necessarily the biggest fans of House Davian.
Ain't it great? Ain't it swell? Ain't it? Oh God, Herta's so conflicted. Just like, God damn.
Well,
And the second truth that's worth mentioning to you all. I'm sorry, Bailey,
No, I want to know more truths first before saying anything.
More truth, please.
Great
Give us
idea.
more Eldritch truths, Foxy.
And the second truth, which you all probably know, and this is going to be, our clothing moment, so I'll give you a response to that after this happens, if you will, if you don't want immediate reactions, then I'll set us up at the end here. I see a hand there, RJ.
Are we gonna be quizzed on this later?
No,
This
I
is
promise.
on the midterm.
It wasn't on the syllabus, Sierra!
Sierra, I can't get out of your mech.
Well,
I'm
I
stuck.
assume we're all sent here, probably on the orders of some house, possibly even my own, for the sake of quelling pirates or snapping off whatever foe got us here. I'd received no new orders, so I assume you aren't under Davian, but that's frankly not important to me. And the reason for that is the second truth. I imagine you know by now there was a crashed warship at that heap that's no longer there. Moved away?
We had suspicions.
I don't know which random foreman happened to own it, but trust and believe me, he was not the person who ordered that ship moved. Whoever did it, they had it moved a long, long time ago. And it's for what's buried under it. It's not a scrapyard. It's a Brian cache.
Oh shit.
Interesting.
And I'll let you all know this very simply. The Brian cache is a common terminology. You see, during the era of the Star League, when humanity was at its precipice, one of their premier generals created a series of holdouts, redoubts, fortresses, and massive defensive positions called the Castle of Brian. They are everywhere all the inner sphere, and most of them were destroyed in the Star League Civil War. What remains are small fuel supplies, mech storage depots, weapon storages, or other small things here or there. You might get lucky and find the enterprising mercenary or random trader who's happened upon one and found an ER laser or maybe even a rare mech that's not been seen around too often. But a Star League cache intact? Who knows what the hell could be inside of that thing? So, what do you say? We get you guys all squared away. I brief you on what I know about the situation. And we go clear away some squatters from what's clearly a prize too important for them.
I think we're open for negotiation.
Other commentary from our friends here?
We do need a little bit of time, though, to get back up to full fighting power.
already dealt with some of the outliers, so to speak.
Then they'll be lower in manpower. We'll recover, repair, refuel, and get ourselves ready for the next few days.
All right, well, I wouldn't mind you meeting my wonderful sister and us having a proper conversation on deck, if you wouldn't mind.
Actually, right at that moment, that she steps kind of a bit sort of directly next to you, Sierra, and just, Camillus Thorons, Break Fangs XO. A pleasure. The pleasure's mine, I assure you.
All right, well, why don't y'all come on in and we'll introduce you to our informant.
Indeed. We have a tech on staff who I can send the transport for, but we will be needing a place to work. If I understand, the Danais class has 6 functional mech bays. Do you have any spare?
We do.
One fit for a 65-tonner?
Yes.
Yeah, should have been.
Yeah. With captains. Yep.
That's right, the captain's in the bay. Treat that bay! Treat that bay when you slot that 65-tonner in with great respect, please. That's our former captains.
Braden.
Make any asks.
Braden kind of looks down for a little and just... Your commanding officer was Amir Drake, yes?
Yes.
I encountered him once on the battlefield during the Third Session War. He was a worthy warrior. You've my condolences.
Thank you for your kind words. You would be so troubled. One of those men that you just stepped on had an important piece of tech that I'd like to try to retrieve, but we'll see if that exists anymore.
Apologies.
Nothing that can't be
I
repaired,
had-
Charlie.
Oh, I wonder how wonderful how Stavion friends can bankroll a new one for you. So,
Well,
I guess it's a rain check on that drink, eh? Jayla?
Well,
Is it?
let's celebrate once we get this thing done. Herda.
Unlike you, Herda's the actual name.
I do apologize for the deception. You understand for the reasons that, well, for what I've just told you, why I had to be discreet.
Not holding it against you too much.
No, trust is an important foundation to any relationship, Ms. Jayla.
Oh my god, Dad, no!
River over here, ready to have
Not
the
in
shovel
front of my
talk.
I'm gonna go on combat patrol. It got real awkward in here real fast.
Goose! Goose, you can't leave me here, Goose! Goose, I'm
Goose?
stuck in a back that I can't travel! Goose!
Goose steps up to like a fireman's pole and just slides down it into his Vulcan.
Well, if you will, friends, I think, unless there's anything else to say, I think with the full reveal of what might actually be sitting under that little mountain you're about to make your way towards, let's say we draw tonight's session to a little bit of a close.
ooh, we got some conversations to have.
Friends, I want to thank you for taking the time to make your way out to see the Mercenaries do. Shout out to our new friends in chat who found us for what we're going through and and hung out with us. Thanks for making your way in, Mechwarrior. We appreciate you. Welcome, Sean Wolf, to the party. Alongside that, I want to thank the rest of our lovely and dedicated audience for hanging out with us and making this a wonderful time. I love this show. I love this new series. And that plot review was planned for episode 3, but I couldn't hold it any longer. It had to happen. We're getting in there early. I'll keep it simple so we can get our folks ready for the downtime talk for the evening. Friends, I've been Young Foxy. I've been your host for the duration of the stream, and I'll pass it around to my friends to let you tell you who they are, who they've been playing, and where they can be found on the internet. We'll start, of course, with Bailey.
Oh, and me. Last one in, first one out. I'm Bailey, or Skepsis_Re, or Skepsis_Re in most social places. I was playing Sierra Sai, and yeah, I do a bunch of writing and stuff like that. So if there's anything that you
are interested in, I am your go-to lady. Continue.
Well, I'll once again plug Bailey's writing as having been great, having read samples of it myself. So, check it out if you haven't already. Swinging on over around the overlay. It's Rainy.
Hi, my name's Rainy. You can find me on most places such as Blue Sky and etc. at Rainy Keys. You can find me on the Dead Bird website at Rainy Keys, because a good captain usually goes down with the ship. And anywhere else, well, you can just find me as always here in the Neon Lights Discord channel and Neon Lights. In fact, you can find me on your screens tomorrow during Halloween for a Blade's Will, the Naruto 5e campaign, where I will be playing the somehow managed to still be alive after all this fucking time, Kurama Chihiro. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. My name's Rainy. I was Herta Bancroft, aka Sugar Rocks. Signing out.
Great to have you on board and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Passing it up to our top right, it's the incomparable RJ.
Howdy do, buckaroos. I played Gary Goose House today, but on my off days, I'm RJ, or RJustice282 on the internet, where you can catch me on a lot of social media sites except Instagram. That's a different name. I'm doing stuff, actual plays, writing something. I hope it goes through fine. Anyway, yeah, I'll be back here again on next Wednesday. Come see me then.
That's why I love weekly series. I get more RJ in my face more often. Fuck doing bi-weeklies. I need my RJ now, frankly. And of course, how could I possibly end this show without passing a little love and accommodation over to the wonderful Egg Chan?
Hey, that's me, Emily or Egg Chan. You can probably find me on Twitch as Egg Chan, because that's me. It was joy playing River again tonight. I'll see you next week.
Absolute joy to have you here. I super love playing Candy with you, and I can't just say that because I'm dating you. You're just awesome.
Mwah!
With that, friends, we leave ourselves back with me. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. If you're looking for me, I'm all over the internet at Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXII. Sometimes there's an underscore in the middle. If you can't find one, look for the other. I had the esteemed pleasure of playing everyone that was not these four lovely people, which was really fun today because I got to play so many varied NPCs at one time, which is always fun for me to do. Yeah, other than that, you'll catch my face a few places around here, namely right back here on Wednesday. You might see me pop up in some other places, possibly, if you're around. I can't spoil them where, because they might be, just keep your eyes on warning. I like the streaming, and maybe I'll show up on your screens by accident somehow. You never know. But
I know
alas,
some of these spoilers and y'all are in for a treat. So
I'm just gonna say, A Blade's
it.
Will is a really cool way to catch some Foxy screen time. Go back into some of the old combined episodes, because we are all terrified of Say, but A Blade's Will is also a very good way to just just FYI, pop in. Maybe we'll have a Foxy appearance. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just like plugging.
It's fine.
I like plugging Say. He's a cool character.
Oh, shucks, I'll blush. Well, I think you all play pretty cool characters, and I love to put them through this episode that just to kind of let them really explore who they were as characters, and I can't wait to see more of them, frankly. But with that said, friends, I want to remind you all at home that the Inner Sphere is a wide open place spanning thousands of light years across, but that does not mean that you don't have people who are close to you at home. So, if you can't ever reach your HPG station, know that we, right here in the Alliance Roleplay, are never more than a single call away, ready to drop in hot as we can in our dropships to offer you all the love and support you need. So, sign on up if you haven't already, and we'll make sure you're taken well care of. With that said, friends, this has been the Mercenary Do. We've been the Alliance Roleplay. You've all been amazing. And remember, kids, you get to keep all the money.
Wait, really?
This is Sierra 2-1. Strike support is ready and standing by. Over.
Bye.